I've been thinking about it daily, I'm an addict and it feels so bad, but it's good at the same time. Thinking like my favorite drug, favorite word, favorite song, favorite horn, get a beat to my damn rhymes. I don't know if you know, when I'm with you, I be gone, Look, and you're like a bad habit that I can't shake. Another pill that I know that I shouldn't take. Steady doing when I know that we need a break. But for what? When I know that it's too late. When I know I can't have it and it's tragic, but it feels like magic. God damn, and it feels so good. I guess I'm an addict for your love and a fool for you. Cause girl, you're like my damn drug.
Well. Look who we have here.
What's
up, Chris?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's going on, man? What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday, 7:30 Central, 7:45 ish for those of us that are in the right Central or the right time zone. Everybody else, where you're an hour ahead or an hour behind, appreciate you guys tuning in. We are expecting some NR legend, but he is retired, so therefore he's on a vacation again. But he's out doing some stuff with the family. If he's got some time, he's gonna pop in. Or I'm sure he'll be listening as always. So if you're out there, brother, we'll be missing you, man. And it's just me up against Chris now, and that's not fair. I mean, it's like, because I think Rush Limbaugh used to say this. He goes, I can go up Chris with half my brain tied behind my back, and that's how I feel when I'm talking to the guy, But you remember Rush Limbaugh when he used to say that? I remember that.
I used to love listening to him. I was in. I used to listen to him. I forget how I started, but I do know that I watched. It was during Waco, and I think that I saw he was at like late night TV. I was in the military, and he was late night TV, and I saw him on there, and he was talking about Waco, and I was like, man, I like this guy. And then it switched to his radio show and stuff like that. So I always enjoyed him. He's a
yeah, man,
he's a character. I didn't like everything he said, but I liked a lot of.
He was an entertainer, man. He was definitely a radio show voice guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was all about the production. He had a great production. So I think I started listening to talk radio when I first started working. Had a young family. That's all I could do. I did a lot of driving around, and but I learned a lot from listening to talk radio. I realized that I don't like to waste my money on taxes. Anyways, politics, right? But everybody, if you guys noticed the thumbnail that I had up on the what was that? One second, I'm gonna pull it up here. Before the start of the actual show, and I want to talk about this stuff tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it up right here. I'm gonna take us off the screen here. What do I mean by that? Tonight we're gonna be.
We can't hear you, buddy, when you were talking. I was like, we're all just sitting there looking at the screen.
Oh, you know what? Probably because I took myself down. My bad. Well, you guys saw it, right? It was basically just the actual. I can actually take you down, Kristen. Whoop. No, I don't like that. Never mind. You guys know what I'm talking about. So tonight I want to talk about what's been happening in the space, right? So what I've noticed is I've noticed this this kind of, I wouldn't say trend, or this awakening that's been happening within the community. Now we've got many of those that have been covering the project of all projects that we've all been in, which is what obviously the Vulcan project, and then unfortunately those that were involved in ESCO and Safe Food and all those. But now I see an awakening happening in the community like this, where now you have those that are actually getting out on YouTube, or the influencers, or whatever you want to call us, that actually get out here and talk. Mela fella is actually where I actually noticed this. I've been catching his lives, and you guys know I don't get to jump on his show during it's the day before this one. I'm usually out and about, but I don't get to jump on it, but I definitely listen to it. It's my favorite live of the week, because I just love the conversation. It's chill. You talk about everything. You kind of cover everything. It's real. There's no drama. You know we like the drama, but anyways, I like the direction that Mela's taken it. Right now, he's actually looking into how, kind of self-teaching himself how to look at audits in crypto projects, right? In contracts, smart contracts. And just because it passes, is it still, if it passes with no flags, is it still safe to invest in, those types of things? I like the fact now that the community is now asking these questions individually, not looking for someone to give them, hey, you can go ahead, it's safe to invest. Trust me. I'm a marketing genius. Trust me, whatever. The point is that I'm happy to see that now. And I so at the end of the day, with everything that's happened over the last few weeks and months, this is the positive that's coming out. So we hear all the time, we've got to be positive. We got to stay positive, and in these times. Well, the positive, I don't like to say positive. I'll stay optimistic. But what I am positive about is not about the project. The positivity I see is how the community is actually learning through this. And hopefully not just Mela and myself and those of you that have never looked at audits, when smart contracts are actually audited, but or even how to read blockchains, actually do the due diligence to see and checking the team and on the teams and past projects. Hopefully you guys, I know we've all learned from everything that's happened. Hopefully everyone else is learning from this, because that's going to make us as a community stronger investors, a stronger community moving forward. And then we will absolutely be a force to to reckon with, because they're not even going to think twice before, pulling any shenanigans on us, because someone's going to call that guy out or that team out. And at the end of the day, if we don't invest, they go away, because that's all they want. They just want us to, do the swap, buy their token or coin, and then they do their thing. So, but anyways, I'm happy to see where this is going. But I want to talk about that tonight. I want to talk about, if that's all right with you, Chris, I want to talk about, what have we learned, and you kind of highlighted it and talked about it on the last few lives about what you expect when businesses, like on the, off chain, off chain, but, on premise, as I like to say, bricks and mortar, when you're talking about audits and due diligence before you go and acquire a company or even formulate a partnership, the documents that go, just the due diligence that goes into that, right? It is just doesn't, it's rarely is it on a handshake. I mean, up to a point it is. And then the paperwork comes in, and you begin to find out that, oh wait, we've got to talk about these things. We got to address these things before we actually put pen to paper. But, and those things are important, guys, especially as teams come out and they want to bring you these amazing projects, and they're calling themselves the CEO and the president and the founder and the owner and all these things. All those are just labels. Okay. They're just labels. They're just words. They're just saying words.
Yeah.
They're not really a CEO unless it says it on a document and someone can hold them liable to that, like via taxes or some sort of corporation, some sort of, there's some sort of legal entity that says, yep, that's the CEO. I mean, when my point is, it's registered somewhere, it's filed somewhere, because anybody can say I'm the president of Krypton. You know what I mean? I could say that all damn day, but it doesn't mean anything, unless
it means something to me.
It means, well, I know, and there are those of you that buy stars and stuff like that. I know, but it's not really your star, at the end of the day, just because they send you a sheet of paper. So there's that story. But anyway, so I want to talk about these things, among other things. And tonight, we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But that's kind of the premise of what I want to start on and what I want to talk about. But and anything else is open. As you know, it is Wednesdays. We talk about whatever and whenever, and we'll go where the road takes us.
I gotta take care of business real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got to go make a couple grand real quick. All right. I guess I'll spend a few $100s while he's doing it. There he goes. All right. So, what's up, everybody? Oh, what's up, Pride? Crypto Pride. Hey, man. Last night, I was listening to Melafella, man, and a buddy of mine came down. He's back from. He was in Louisiana. He's a fellow business owner, and he actually deals with government contracts. He does. He's construction. He's all over the U.S. Anyways, I think he may have been in Georgia. Or I think he was in North Carolina. Well, he just called me. He's been texting me all week. I finally called him back yesterday in the morning. I was sorry, man. I missed your calls. I've been so slammed, and I'm going somewhere with this Pride. Trust me, you'll appreciate this story. Well, anyway, so he's like, "Hey, man, let's go ride." And so he bought a motorcycle years ago. I taught him to ride. He rode off one of my motorcycles, and he went and bought one and never rode with him since. So he finally came into town and says, "Man, I'm in town. We got to go ride." So that's what I was doing yesterday. That last evening, I was just riding all over, north of Houston. Man, it was a beautiful, beautiful ride. I haven't ridden in a while, that aggressive. And he goes, "Man, well, let's get something to eat." So where do you think we went, Pride? We went to Chili's, brother. We went to Chili's, man. I had to, man. I had to. I couldn't get a lava cake. It was too late. The last thing I don't like to eat chocolate and ride my motorcycle because it's chocolate's kind of a drug to me, man. Because I tend to indulge sometimes. But anyways, just I was thinking about you, man. And we're gonna talk about aliens, of course, because there's a lot of stuff coming out, in the news where you got government officials or now whistleblowers or I think there's even hearings going on or there and committee hearings or whatever, and you've got government officials admitting that there's actual aliens, like they have the technology and they've got biologically they've got the bodies to go with it. If you guys remember the Roswell incident, I think they're talking about that one. It was in New Mexico somewhere. Alien ship supposedly crashed in the 50s, I think, or 60s. I think it was in the 50s. And they were supposedly recovered some alien bodies or whatever. So now they're admitting it. So I don't believe in aliens. I think this is they're talking about aliens. That means they're doing something else. I mean, I'm just going over the history of how this government and governments of the world work. Anything that the news is telling you, don't believe it. And this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Don't believe everything you read or hear. You got to go do your own research. Wait for the facts to come out. And don't ever rush to judgment, because typically when people rush to judgment, it's out of emotion. An emotional man is a dangerous man, not only to yourself, but to others and to the legacy that you hope to leave. So, but we'll talk about that. I'm sure everybody believes in aliens, most of you guys do, but I don't, man. I don't. I know Chris does, because apparently somebody put a flashlight on the back of his head, and apparently now he's got he's got proof. Because you said the hairs in the back of your neck stood up or something, and
My whole thing is I don't believe that aliens from like another world. I can't find that pretty hard to believe. What the hell are they doing here? They took forever to get here. Why this shit? But different beings on this planet that we don't know about. I mean, who knows? I mean,
well, did you see Mitch McConnell today?
Dude,
bro, look, Maxine Waters, Mitch McConnell. Biden, who else?
Why doesn't this country?
Nancy Pelosi.
This goes back to my point that I was trying to make a while back when I was drinking heavily in bourbon and all that. I don't know what we were doing, but the screen was blurry and I don't know what I was talking about. But anyway, I was talking the young people in this country. The like two things you need to do. You need to learn compound interest, and you need to learn about politics. Because of the fact that they're living off decisions that are made by people that aren't going to be alive when they have to deal with this stuff. And if we had more term limits, I mean, Benjamin Rush. You ever heard of Benjamin Rush?
Mm-mm.
You ever get the opportunity, check out Benjamin Rush. He's one of the founding fathers, right? Nobody ever hears from him or anything. He's done so many things for this country and everything like that.
Founding fathers, as in signed on the Declaration of Independence. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, he's on the picture. He's like sitting right next to Benjamin Franklin and all that stuff, but nobody ever hears about him. Nobody ever talks about him. But he's a pretty smart guy, all that kind of stuff. All kinds of things. But this guy, most of those guys lost everything they ever had, and they went to Congress and like worked for free. And it's like, okay, maybe that's changed over the years. You can't realistically work for free and be in that. But these people make millions and millions off them. They scam like other people we know, where the king of the egg yolks. Is that
King of the egg yolks, yeah.
something like, or king of the eggheads or something?
Yeah, but he's just shy of a yolk. He's all whites. Let's
Yeah.
say that right now. He's got no yolk in that egg, bro. I'm sorry.
So and they the thing that bothers me about it is that they're just out there. How can these people be in these positions for decades?
Because,
And
I could tell you how. It's because people are more concerned about who's going to win the next Super Bowl, who's going to win the next soccer game. They're distracting you guys with movies. Us, me too. Me included. Over the years, it took a while before I actually unplugged myself from the Matrix and realized I will say this: that when I stopped watching the news, the local news and cable news, and I really use the internet for what it's really supposed to be used for, and that's to go get my own information. And I don't mean from one news source. I remember I was always accused by people even in this community that, I just go to Fox News or something like that. No, sorry, I don't.
No.
I go all over the internet, and I'm going to other news organizations, other countries. I want to know how other countries are looking at the U.S. and how we're looking at their politics and vice versa. So then I go out and get my information. Then I begin to make my own decisions based on the information I gathered. And that doesn't mean my decisions hold any water on the decisions being made, because I'm just one vote, right? At least in the States. But at least I'm one of millions that have stopped, that are no longer zombies going, just give me the money, give me something, give me my chicken nuggies. We're talking about that last time, but they want free stuff. That's what my point is. The government gives us stuff, and we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that, we're going to pay this debt off, pay that off, we're going to give you free college, free energy, blah, blah, whatever. And people fall for that, man, because it's weird. They make it so hard to survive. Interest rates go up. It's very expensive to borrow money now. Now because of the cost of living and inflation, it takes two incomes now to live what used to take just one income. If I was what I make now 40 years ago, right? I'm 46 years old. If I was making now, if my dad was making what I'm making right now, my God, I would be a trust fund baby right now.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I mean? But the point is, I'm working twice as hard as my dad, and I'm basically living the same way he did. And it's crazy because everything's twice as much. But yeah, my point is I think to your point is why? Because we're distracted, man. And those people that get to be in power, the Pelosi's and the Mitch McConnell. And Mitch McConnell's a Republican.
Dude.
That guy needs to go, man. That guy had a malfunction today. I saw like it was all over Twitter. The guy went up to the podium. He did what you did sometimes, Chris, and he goes,
I don't. You know what?
I'm just joking.
On this note, I want to bring up, this is what OBZ's eating while we're talking.
Nice.
I mean, is this even fair that he does this? He sends me this things and
Grilled
says,
chicken,
"Hey, this is what I'm having tonight." Says some type of thing about tonight some jerk chicken to tantalize your taste. But really, OBZ? I mean, I'm glad you send it so we can show everybody. But
that was good.
I mean,
man.
it'd be pretty nice if you just maybe drop it off here or something.
Yeah, but if it wasn't so expensive to make it, he'd probably have some sides with it. But that's what we're talking about, man. He's got to ration that for the month, because it's expensive out there. What's up, Shadow X? He says, Kryptonian, what about the whistleblower? Yeah, I heard about the whistleblower. I think I saw a couple of clips on it today. And I think they're talking about they admitted to having found we do have alien technology, ships or whatever, technology, plus we have biological proof, non-human proof that they exist. We'll see. I mean, that's just it. They say it, and then they're going to push it in the news, and this is what I think is going to happen. All right. So why all of a sudden aliens? Why not aliens before COVID? Why not aliens before 9/11? Why now? I mean, if you follow the money and you follow the pattern, if they got everybody to line up, half the world in a sense, at least half the country, you know, in the states, to line up and get the Fauci the Fauci ouchie. You know, I didn't.
Oh, hey,
you know.
did you see that Tucker Carlson Ice Cube thing?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! You guys see that? Everybody see that? The
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson.
Hell
Man,
yeah.
man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you that I love me some Ice Cube, man. I always knew he was like that. But I you know, not only him, but there's others that are coming out, you know, that are from Hollywood or that are actually beginning to say, hey, man, it's a dark world out there. There's a lot of people really trying to make them like kind of succumb to their I don't know, I guess mandate them. You know, either you do this or we ruin your careers type thing. You know, we'll blacklist you or blackball you, whatever. But I you know, ultimately, I think that the alien thing is this whole alien narrative is to scare the hell out of everybody. They're gonna say yes, there's aliens, and everybody's gonna start believing it, right? And then they're gonna go, we've got to unite because the aliens are trying to attack humanity. So we need everybody to line up and get a shot or whatever. You know, we need to do away with we got to put our differences aside. We can't be going to war with China and Russia and Iran. You know, all these perceived enemies, right? Right. You know, but we can go to space with them. Bullshit, man. Okay. So, but we can't be enemies now. We just got to get this one world government. Everybody is the same now. We have to unite. And that's when welcome to 1984, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You don't know what I'm talking about? Go look that up. Google 1984. All right. Anyways, that's you know, I can go all day about that. I mean, I have so many theories, you know, because I don't know what's gonna happen, obviously, but this is my theory. I think it's a distraction. And it's anytime the news has actually come out with a story, it's always been proven. If not now, just if you wait long enough, it turns out it was only half truths. The problem with a half a truth is that it still equals a whole lie. So this whole, well, we didn't tell you everything. Well, if you didn't tell me everything, that means you lied to me. So one half truth still equals one whole lie. And that's why I do not trust anybody that says, I'm here to help you, you know, and I work for the government. So anyways, yeah, George Orwell, 1984. That's right. What's up, Sky? Yeah. If you guys don't know what that's about, man, I'm sure I'm a lot of our listeners that they know. I mean, you know, we're all about the same demographic.
Well, it's just the same thing as the Jason Aldean video that came out, you know, and it's like you
try that in a small town, bro.
But I mean, it is like that, and my neighbors, my
neighborhood too. My neighborhood too. You know,
in my neighborhood, I would say that is pretty diverse. I mean, there's all kinds of people that live around me that just and some of them hardly speak English, and I think it's great, you know, and they're all friendly, everybody's nice, you know, and everything like that. And it is that dude, nothing like that would be happening where I live. They would not. They'd pull the plug immediately. But
same here, man. And I'm north of Houston. Mm-hmm. Like literally, maybe
I know where you're at because I looked at
yeah. So maybe 20, 30 minutes down the freeway down to Houston. Mm-hmm. And Houston is extremely, you know, all major cities in the U.S. are just about or you know, liberal leaning, whatever. But Houston's horrible. I mean, it's horrible. We'll be San Francisco pretty soon as far as the homelessness and the crime and all that. It's on its way already. Unfortunately, it's just horrific. So. Yeah, I go 30 minutes out of into Houston, and they try to do whenever that was happening, you know, the all those riots happening a couple of years ago, and they were burning down business. They tried to do that in Houston, and it was like they had an about face, and everybody said, wait a minute, this is Texas. We don't want to do that here. Why? Because you just don't want to do that in Texas. And in my neighborhood where I'm at, you ain't gonna do that up here. And try it. And now you can call me racist, but no, I'm sorry. I mean, I ain't racist. I hate everybody the same. You know, everybody. I'm joking. No, but
you remind me of my old military days. We're all all worthless.
Yeah,
so
we're all
there
worthless.
is no racism. There is no nothing. Racism, You're all equally worth shit.
That's right. There it is, Roy. Yeah. Exactly, man. We're all equally worth shit. That's so funny.
But that Jason Aldean thing, it's just one of the things with the world that's going on nowadays is you got Jason Aldean puts a video out that it could be controversial for some people not. I mean, depends on how you see it and everything. It's okay, I mean, but then you have people, and I'm not saying any of this stuff's bad, but then you have people that put out stuff like Cardi B, some of the lyrics in her songs and stuff. See, people might like that, and I'm not judging her or not judging any of them in any way or the other. But if you read the words to what Jason Aldean's saying, you read the words what Cardi B's saying, why are we upset? I mean, I could see people being upset about what Cardi B's saying and everything like that. I mean, but that's her right. I would never say that she couldn't do that. But when you don't like throw a fit about that, but you throw a fit about what Jason Aldean, it's really getting to a point where it's like you can't even listen anymore because so many things are coming up, and it's like, oh, that's canceled. We got to cancel that. You're like, really? Well, it used to be what when you wake up in the morning, it's like, what are people upset about today? Now it's like, who are we canceling today? It's like, really? Just pay attention. Just leave people alone, man.
Yeah, who are you canceling?
Yeah, who are we canceling today?
Darwin has a pretty good question. Here's the biggest question: how does so little few people can? Or I guess his question is, how do so little few people can control billions? That shit makes no sense to me. So the way they do that is whoever controls the information controls the masses. So if you look at who owns all the news media organizations, they're the same people that are running Hollywood, that used to run the newspapers. Now they're running the local news and the cable news networks, and even the websites that you go to, Google. I mean, they're all in the same. It doesn't take a billion people to a billion humans to control 7 billion. What do we have, like 8 billion people on this planet or something like that? Whatever it is. But it doesn't take a billion to control 8 billion of us. Whatever. All they've got to do is just. And they know us. They know the thing about human beings is we need to eat, we need to sleep, and that's it. And we need to be able to work to go make money to buy food to eat. I mean, we're very simple. All right. If you break it down to the fundamentals, we're very simple. We can't be up more than a full day. We need sleep and all these things. So while you're sleeping, they're working. The point I'm making is they're distracting us, and I see this in the comments. They distract us with things that are going on in life. We work and work and work, and it's hard. We got to work harder to make ends meet nowadays. Like I was saying earlier, it takes 2 incomes, sometimes even 3 incomes, just to raise a family now in today's economy. So they know we're busy working. We don't have the time to actually do our own research, to go out there and figure out what the hell is going on. So what we do is we're tired, and then they entertain us. And then, and then they throw us a bone every now and then, and people get happy. Oh, I get to go on a vacation for 2 weeks or whatever, if you can. But so the point is, Darwin, I'm making is all they've got to do is just control the news, control the information. And how do they do that? Well, if you just remember what during the whole Fauci phase just 2 years ago, if you even said, I'm not getting that jab, what would they do? You get canceled, you get fired, you couldn't get a job. I mean, I had customers laying people off because their employees would not get that jab, and that was sad. Because now at fast forward, I personally know some people that have gotten that jab and they got heart issues now. Their kids all of a sudden have irregular heartbeats. Tell me, you guys, I'm sorry, but none of my kids got it. I didn't get it. And so all I can say is that if you would actually say something like, stand up against the authorities, they'd shut you down. That you either lose your job, lose the ability to find a job, and that's how they get you. They scare the hell out of you. They're shutting down businesses. People will just, okay, government, what do we do? But that's it. Now everybody's going to that same news source to figure out what the next step is, and they control the news source. That's my take on it. That's how they're able to control everybody. It doesn't take 1 billion people to control 8 billion people. It just takes a couple thousand, honestly, because they control the media. They control the news. That's my take on it. I can't hear you, bud. Oh, you're muted. Yep.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That was tough because when all that stuff was going on with that craziness, that we did around here, we didn't skip a beat. I mean, that, and not just me, relatives, family members, neighbors, things like that. We were all like, just, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We ain't doing that. So it was a little bit different. And then I saw it through basically like news reports, things like that. Some people, I was like, man, that's tough on, they're living that. How can they survive, living like that? And then I saw like things about New York City and stuff like that being ghost towns and stuff. And it's like,
man.
wow,
You know what I
those
didn't
people are
understand-
crazy to live there, man.
You know what I didn't understand, Chris? As people were supposedly dying, I know people died from this virus.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say they didn't, but the way they were making it, saying the hospitals were just packed out. My wife worked at a hospital, so I got to see it firsthand on how not packed it was. Okay, all right. And here's one thing that because they made it look like they were just spilling over and all the ERs and all this stuff, but I never really understood how. You've got these nurses and doctors and even police officers that are at the hospitals, right? I'll just speak to those locations because that's about the time. It was like every day a damn TikTok video would go viral about you'd have 20, 30, 50, sometimes even 100 people doing some sort of, just some sort of dance, all coordinated. They're doing TikTok dances during COVID, and it's crazy. Yeah, that went viral. And it's like, how are you able to coordinate that while people are dropping dead from this one that's supposedly the most craziest pandemic ever in history, right? So it used to blow my mind. So I was like, that doesn't look right, But now they're actually dancing. Now they got another videos out. Now they're doing TikTok videos, the same nurses and stuff. Now they're doing it on climate change. It's crazy, man. I guess that's the next big thing. I guess again, I do want to bring up a point here, or bring up a.
I got a video to show. It was sent to you and I from Dave Fi. So
okay, all right, 1 second. What's up, Polly the cat? He goes, hey, Kryptonian, can you talk about Prism tonight? So we have something positive to see tonight. I can't show you anything, but we're definitely gonna talk about Prism. I promise you that. And I'm excited. We've been working on this. So what's that?
Did you see what Polly the cat says about Bob down a little bit later?
He says Bob does eat crayons, but he's a good fella.
Bob says yellow ones taste best, Dave.
That's funny, man.
Poor Bob.
He always gets the hard, man. He always give him a hard time, man. You gonna play a video? You want to play a video?
Oh yeah, I was waiting. I thought you were gonna talk about Prism.
Oh no, that's later. Yeah,
okay.
I'll get it queued up and stuff. But
well, it can't be too much later because I'm gonna be trashed by the time we get there.
Nah, not too much later. We're only 30 minutes into this thing, man. Calm down.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now, so it's gonna be a long night.
I'm sipping my whiskey, man, because
Yeah, I'm
otherwise
not.
I'm already rambling. I'll really be rambling.
All right, I think I got everything turned on this, but Dave says this is his post. Sums it all up. Fear. So,
at one point you had said that there has been harmful activity or aggressive activity. Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured, and the activity.
By UAPs or by people within the federal government?
Both.
Okay, so there has been activity by alien or non-human technology and or beings that has caused harm to humans.
I can't get into the specifics in an open environment, but at least the activity that I personally witnessed, and I have to be very careful here because they tell you never to acknowledge tradecraft, right? So what I personally witnessed myself and my wife was very disturbing.
No. This is, yeah. I didn't see this part. You can't, man. That's a whistleblower.
Yeah, that was a whistleblower.
Dude, he's acknowledging tradecraft there. I'm not sure why he said that he wasn't. So
He said people got hurt.
yeah,
Yeah, but then they're gonna be like, okay, well, tell us more. Well, I can't. Well, I mean, you can't show us pictures. I can't. Why? Because it's confidential, right? Now the problem is if they start showing photos now or videos, you know what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be from an 8mm camera from the 40s, okay,
Yeah.
or 60s. It's not gonna be 4K. It's not gonna be what we had. Like no one's gonna pull up an iPhone, because Android suck. Everybody knows Android suck. No one's gonna pull up the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and they're not gonna be able to film an alien or craft, spacecraft, whatever, alien craft, because you're gonna see it's fake, CGI, whatever, in my opinion. Now watch tomorrow it all comes out and I'm wrong. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to come. I was wrong. The aliens are real, but they're not.
yeah, but it goes back to my whole point. All right, so we're pretty far out. All right, so there's other planets, there's other things that we don't even know about. Sure, there
I
could
agree.
be.
I agree with Dave. It's all
It-
about fear.
Yeah,
Yep.
it could be there could be whole worlds out there super advanced than us, totally different us, everything like that. But why are they going to travel out here? I mean, really, what was that one movie that the aliens came and everything like that, and they would die with water, so they come to an invaded planet that's what 70% water. I mean, what was that alien movie with Mel Gibson in them that
Was
the
it Mel
water
Gibson?
killed the aliens or whatever?
Oh, was it The Signs? The Sign?
Signs, I think.
Signs.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, M Night Shyamalan, whatever.
It's
his
a
name
good
is.
movie and
Oh,
everything.
it is a good movie. Is that what killed him? I don't remember. That was like that movie.
Yeah, because
20 years
remember
old.
they had an alien in the living room and like somebody like it knocked over water or whatever, it spilled on him and it burned their skin and he grabbed the water and threw it on him and it was like,
Oh,
how we kill the aliens is water. Well, why the hell are they in the first place, dude? The planet's mostly water.
Well, because it doesn't rain either on Earth, right?
Yeah. It's like
uh,
you could literally die if it rained on you. The aliens don't want to come here. And
well,
that goes to my
it's
point.
the other movie, War of the Worlds, right? You remember
Oh,
the
yeah.
most recent one that was made a couple years ago with I think Tom Cruise in it.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. They're buried under the earth. All of a sudden, they get reactivated. Bam.
But why would they come here?
The freaking a cold kills them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, why? Okay, so all right, so aliens, and that's all hype and fear and everything like that. And it's like, you know what? I believe that we might think they're aliens because, see, we know everything, right? I mean, we've only been studying climate change for a couple hundred years, and we're already like we're already getting it wrong. There's so many things that we think every generation thinks they're smarter than the last one, and they know everything and all that kind of stuff. But when they see things that they don't understand, like I saw something about a fish. It's a fish that like stands straight up and it's kind of glowing and has like a red thing in its stomach. And it's believed that when this fish shows up, like disasters come and everything, and people rarely ever see it. It's like the first time they've seen it in a long time. And it's off the coast of Japan or something like that. And they think when it arrives, when like bad things happen, it's like, okay, let's go back a little bit. You've rarely seen this fish. Okay. So you literally are talking like you know everything about this planet. You've seen all the aliens or whatever, all these different things. And when you do see something, it's not human, so it must be from a different planet. What makes you think it's not from this planet? What makes you think that this stuff is really like, yeah, they are here? And if they are from a different planet, why are they here? What the hell are we doing that they're like, oh, we need your cryptocurrency? Is that why they're like, whoa, we got to get part of this cryptocurrency?
I'm here for your blockchain.
I'm
No,
here
don't
for your
take my
blockchain. Yeah, it seems just so,
They're
so
like,
ridiculous.
we're here for your king of eggs. Take his ass. Take him.
And some of these things, the whistleblower might be right about certain things and everything, but that doesn't mean it's from another planet or something like
Yeah.
that. I mean,
I don't believe. So yeah, I guess I can even elaborate on what do I believe, because whenever I tell people I don't believe in aliens, well, the next question is, well, what do you believe in, right? But quickly, Dayfi says all these movies are the same thing, subconsciously programming the public to fear everything.
Yep.
100%. Everything is propaganda. Television, lie vision. Look it up. All right, they're telling you lies visually. I know that sounds kind of corny, but everything that we all the names they come up with for their companies and their technology. I truly believe for them to be able to cast any spells on us, and when I mean that, I mean how to trick us is what I mean. They gotta tell us what they're gonna do subconsciously
Right.
first. Like, they gotta tell us, paint a picture for us, and we go, so that way we accept it. That's just how it works. So that way the karma doesn't come back on them. I mean, I can get into that as a whole nother podcast or live, but yeah, I believe it's all predictive programming. That's why it's super important that you unplug from the matrix and you just stop watching the news. If you're watching the news every day, listening to the radio every day, and I'm talking about music, all right, watching movies, get off of Netflix. I mean, there's only so many times you can Netflix and chill. I mean, just try it without the Netflix. It's actually a lot funner without Netflix. But I would say this, unplug, give yourself 7 days, 10 days of just unplugging from the world, social media and all that, and then get back and start watching stuff. And you're going to realize, shit, it's all fake. It's all programming, trying to, and Dave's right. They're trying to make you scared of everything. But
Look at Anthony. I'm Anthony M. I saw the same Japanese fish what cigar are you smoking there, bud? I like that. But this Sky High's figured it all out.
they need our blood to get high. Not my blood.
Yeah, and this Wolfram is talking about this. Yeah, I've seen these things. I've seen these things. The information and stuff that's out there, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
we think we know everything, and then you know what? Our grandkids are going to be like, man, those guys that were on that live, they thought they knew everything. Back, when this is 50 years old and everything. Every generation thinks they know everything. You just look back and
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
at
why
one
you and I
time-
argue all the time.
Yeah, in the
Because
late
you
18...
think you know everything, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, I do know everything. I do know the fact that I don't know everything. How about
you know what you don't know?
what I don't know?
And not that one. I just missed it. Here, sorry about that. What's up, Shadow X? He goes, "Damn it, Kryptonian! I miss my Ducati Monster. I never rode a Monster. It's like a naked bike. Was it 800, 700 cc? I forget what it is, but man, but it's a Ducati. I mean,
No,
it's-
I'm Harley, dude. I can't really. I mean,
man,
I wouldn't. I'm not
Diablo.
saying that's
I have a
bad.
Diablo.
It's just that I'm just.
Yeah.
Different.
Well, last night I was riding my my Harley.
I know.
Sport,
I was a
yeah.
little bit bummed about that. I was like, but
I was trying to make it quick, man, but we had to stop at Chili's, Pride, and
Yeah. Did you get that lava cake?
I couldn't, man, because when I'm wearing the gear, since I haven't ridden in about like that aggressive, like for a couple hours in about a year, right? So I went to put on this is how I know I need to back off the lava cake. So when I went to put on that,
A little tight.
my gear was like zip. I said, yeah. So I got it up, right, and then I was like, all right, okay, I'm just going to sweat this one out, man. So I just just had a drink and came back, but my boy was eating though, man. He was eating. I think he had a freaking steak or something. I don't know what he had, but I don't even like to ride. I don't like to ride my motorcycle and be all full.
I'm getting to the point now where steak and meat and stuff like that has to be. I have to have seen it alive before I'll eat it, because I'm getting very concerned about the fact that hearing all these reports about putting lab grown meat and stuff like that in restaurants. I don't think they've done it yet, but they're going to, and it's like, you know what?
When you start hearing about them doing it, they've been testing it for a while.
Yeah.
No one's dropped dead yet.
Man, that's crazy, dude. What the hell are you people doing? But more and more
Follow
people,
the money,
man.
Follow the money, yeah.
Well, but at the same time, it's like, there's other ways to survive, and you can get good meat and know that it's legit. Man, there are so many things coming up in the chat. Biz is saying, let's talk about South Poles. Did you see that stuff?
Biz, no, man. No.
Man.
We're not going there, bro. Not tonight. They're not ready. They're not ready, Biz.
Not really.
I watched the Weather Channel. Are you being sarcastic? Or are you saying that's all you watch, Wolfram? What I've noticed, and I just started noticing it probably about 2 years ago. Like anytime it's at least in the Houston area, where it's like blue skies, like, oh my God, it's a beautiful day. And I notice it now more because when I would ride that's when I really started noticing, I guess, when I started riding my motorcycle, because I'm looking for the perfect riding environment, right? either kind of an overcast, not really raining, to keep the sun off me, or I want it completely just blue skies. But it doesn't, within minutes of it, I'll say within minutes, if it's going to be blue skies today, let's say tomorrow morning or tomorrow, by mid-afternoon, there's damn planes just freaking zigzagging all over Houston, right? And they're like leaving chemtrails all over the area that I'm in. And it's like, and then the next day it freaking comes down hard. It just rains. What the hell are they doing? You know, what the hell are they putting in the sky? And those are things that we just don't know. You know, I just don't trust the government, guys. I just don't do it, man. I can't. I don't trust anything I can't verify for myself. And that sucks, you know?
Well, I mean, that's Wolfram brings up about stop watching the news and all that kind of stuff. And I do, man. It's like, listen, they get what this is my problem. Okay. So back when we were all going through that, you know, that thing, you know, that whatever. So when we're going through that, right, there are video, there's documentation, there's so much stuff about people, all kinds of political leaders, doctors and stuff like that, saying that if you got it, you wouldn't be, you know, you wouldn't get it again, all these kinds of things. Now, anybody that said that that's not, that critically thought and said, you can't guarantee that, we're banned from everything, right? And it was like, this is misinformation. Where are all the people bringing those videos up saying, hey, this is misinformation, that you said this back during that time? I mean, even the president at that time said that if you got it, you wouldn't get it again. It protects you from getting it again and you wouldn't spread it. Well, we know that that's not true. So where's the slap for this account does misinformation and they get shadow banned? The president, you know, I mean, if you kick one of them off, you know, you kick one of them off all the platforms and one of them is legitimately putting out misinformation, why is there not a tag on that? I'm not just talking about presidents. I'm talking about regular, you know, doctors, people with the CDC, all that kind of stuff. It's like they don't want to go back and revisit all that kind of stuff. But all those innocent people that were pushed out of social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking innocent people. I'm not people that were like really like riling it up, you know.
The people that just simply ask questions. Maybe not even in social media. They just went to work and says, I don't want to get a shot. It's against my religion or my beliefs or whatever, you know, and then they get fired. They're not able to, I mean, where my wife works at now, she's not vaccinated. All right. But so they require her, all right, they say she has to get random COVID test, and it's supposed to be random of she's in the hospital, right. And which is a really huge one. Thousands of employees, they're supposed to be random COVID tests, or her name gets picked randomly. So yeah, I would think if there's, I don't know, 10,000 employees, she'd probably get picked once maybe once a year or something. I don't know, twice a year. Nah, man, every month her name gets hit, and we got to go drop $200 for her to get a COVID test. All right, so that's a tax on her wanting on her freedom of choice. Bullshit, man. $200 a month for a COVID test. Her insurance won't cover it, you know, because it's not unless she had it, COVID, and she got. But I mean, that's just my wife. Can you imagine the others that have to do that? So it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Well, I saw this video, and it in one place I saw it was marked as misinformation, and everywhere else it wasn't. So the misinformation thing, really, give me a break. There's been misinformation my whole entire life through all kinds of stuff and commercials, stuff like that, bunch of crap, you know, oh, you take this, you'll be able to date the hottest chick ever, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's all misinformation. So I don't understand who's the arbiter of that though. I mean, who is like the one that says that? But anyway, I saw this video where they're having some type of a council meeting and the lady's interviewing one of the witnesses and says, basically, we don't have an approved shot. Is that correct? And they're like, correct. So it's not available anywhere in the United States that's approved to take. And they're like, yes. She goes, okay, then why are we mandating that people get it? And the guy was like, I don't know. I don't know. And it's like, okay, so wouldn't that be something that this should all be done? I mean,
It's a rush, man.
And where I live, it's been done for a long, dude. It was done like 2 weeks. We all did that. We were all like, let's stay home for 2 weeks. When that happened, and then we were all like, nah, we're back. We're going back.
Yeah.
We're going back to do our thing. And we went back, and we've been doing it ever since. I mean, there are a few people that wore masks and stuff like that, but it was like 95%. We were still doing our, normal meet and greet type thing, our little festivals and our little, concerts in the park, stuff like that. We had those things. So it was like, we were done with it, but a lot of places weren't, and they're still not. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, on the East West Coast. I know we got is it Wolfram? You're up in Canada. Even Wolfhart Games, I believe he's in Canada. I'm sorry, I love Canada. I used to go all the time until COVID. Um, yeah, some of my best friends are Canadian or from Canada. I've been working with these guys 10+ years. You're an amazing. I like to call you guys. You're the politest assholes I've ever met in my life. You guys.
Telling you.
But I just don't desire to go to Canada because and it's God's country. It's beautiful up there.
Now, I have to stop you on there because I understand what you're saying, but man, in the country, I have a lot of connections with Canada, but they're like rural Canada.
Yeah, rural. Yeah, I'm talking about like Calgary, Alberta. That's where I go for work.
Yeah,
and stuff.
like
So,
the cities and stuff. They
Yeah.
seem to be it's difficult. Cities are difficult everywhere.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in the countryside and stuff,
I'd go to
those
the
are,
country for sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're Canadians,
Yeah.
man, are good people, and
But yeah, man.
they're my
Amazing
kind of people and stuff.
Yeah.
And
They're
I've
super
always
polite,
been.
man. They're super polite. I have no problem with them. It's their government that I have a problem with.
Yes,
That-
yes, that's exactly
uh,
true. Even in the cities, there's some good
yeah.
people, but man, they got some crazy people. And they look down here and they look at us too, and they're like, "Yeah, you guys are good people, but you got some crazy politicians."
Yeah,
we have really the craziest politicians anywhere, man.
Well, they're not only crazy, they're old as dirt.
And
You know what I mean?
did you? I saw this the other day that somebody was in Italy or something.
Edmonton, what's up, buddy?
Somebody's in Italy or whatever, and they're like, "Man, you wouldn't believe it. Italy is laughing at us so much for all of our stuff." And then they said that they came out and said that transgender people can't compete in the Miss America or Miss World pageants or anything like that, and they're all like losing their shit, and all the Italians are laughing like, "Keep losing your shit. We're not going to change it."
Yeah, yeah. It's just crazy how woke it's gotten.
It is.
It's like a small minority that's actually controlling the narrative, controlling. They're just they're I think they're trying to shoot their shot, man. They see an opportunity, blood's in the water. They're going all out, and unfortunately, laws are going to be written or going to be passed based on this small minority, and there's going to be some consequences for it. There'll be some repercussions as well, because you can only push human beings so far. I'm sorry. I mean, those of us that don't say anything, like we just live and let live, I'm libertarian, right? So I'm like, look, just do what you want. Just don't, as long as it doesn't affect me and my life, me and mine, to each their own. But when it starts spilling into my life, into my freedoms, that's when I got problems with that, and
Yeah.
I believe you're beginning to see that. Obviously, guys, I'm a Second Amendment, I'm in the state, so I'm a big pro Second Amendment guy. I believe that from my cold dead hands is before you take my guns from me. I mean, people don't understand that are not. I hate to say that. When they say, "Well, you're part of the gun community," no, it's just for me, it's not a community. It's just common sense. Like it's a way it's a means for me to preserve my life, my family's life, my community's life, my friends, if I ever need to. That's all it's for. It's self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hunt. So it's not for hunting, I eat chicken more than anything. I'm not shooting my chickens with my AR-15. I don't have chickens, but you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's not for hunting. For me, it's just to protect me and mine and my country at the end of the day. And if you want to know, well, what's the big deal if they take your guns? What's the big deal? Well, I can point you to China. I can point you to Cuba. I can point you to North Korea. I can point you to Iran. I can point you to Mexico. My point is, those are the places where they have some of these are countries that have the strictest gun control. Your citizens can't have guns, and they're run by mafias, cartels, the governments. The people have no freedom, no real freedom, and that's what I just don't want that here. I don't want that anywhere, not just here, but.
Well, we got a comment in here about your mic, so I turned your mic up. Is that
Oh,
hopefully
yeah,
it's better?
can you guys hear me better now? Sorry, it's probably got a mind of its own.
Yeah, I just went in and turned it up. It's at like 180 now, so it's
All right,
almost to
cool.
the top. So, but and then OBZ, listen, dude, he's like, I make the best maple syrup. Seriously, dude, you send us
Bro.
this food, and then you're talking about making your maple syrup. Really?
Yeah, I want to prove it. Send me a
Yeah,
bottle,
yeah.
man.
Prove
Send
it.
me a
Yeah,
bottle.
send me a bottle. We'll
I like
see.
Fowler says 2 words. Red Dawn. That's right,
Yeah.
brother. That's right, brother.
I mean, but
It's a good movie. The
part of-
80s version, not the 2000 version. Just-
well, the 80s version, all that stuff. I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't have a weapon, and they're it's just like a tool. It's a part of normal life and everything like that. It's farm equipment. It's stuff that it's your car. It's just and it's a way of life. And where I live and everything like that, man, it's like we don't understand this woke stuff at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
if my neighbor's transgender, I could care less.
Care less
I
too,
mean,
yeah.
we don't. I mean, okay, that's
No,
cool. But
Cool, bro.
if my neighbor, what transgender or not, is trying to like do something with my neighbor's kids, like having any kind of a discussion or anything like that, that's inappropriate, man, the whole neighborhood be out there.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that's the
The
way
whole-
it should be. Yeah,
whole
that's the way it should
community.
be.
But
Yeah.
that's the point. It's like I just don't understand how people just go off the rails when they see something. They're like, somebody was telling me the other day that they heard about a cancel of something. Somebody wanted to cancel somebody. I don't think it was a Jason Aldean thing, but it was something like something kind of innocent. And they did a whole story about where it came from and where it all started. Why did people all of a sudden want to cancel it? And it went through all this different stuff, and it went to like some young person's Twitter account or whatever, where they got mad at how it was said or done, so they started this cancel thing, and it just like went viral, and it started. But it was basically people were like, yeah, let's cancel them because of this. But it started off with somebody just taking whatever they said out of context, and it's like, let's all just stop. Stop.
He's got to stop, man. He's got to stop. I like what Wolf says. He says, as a bi man, we do not accept the woke culture. I've got a lot of cousins, and I say a lot of cousins.
Yes.
I've got a lot of cousins. I got some of my cousins that are
Wait,
are
what
bi
does
or
that?
gay.
What? Okay, as a bi man. So
Yeah, so
that,
I'm
that's
assuming
bisexual.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's saying that they do not accept the woke culture. So, an interesting story with me is, I had these friends in high school. This friend in high school, I never knew he was gay until I met him. When I with my first wife, we reconnected. I think my wife was really good friends with him. She kind of knew, right? I guess. But the guy had he must have been bi, because I mean, he was getting all the girls, man. All the girls loved him to death. But anyway, so we went and had lunch, and hey, we're gonna meet up with so and so. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen the guy in years. And he brings his husband with him, I guess, his gay partner. And I had this is about the time Obama was I think Obama was already president, and all this woke stuff started happening. And both of these guys, they're both business owners. They were in real estate. They owned I think they owned a title company or something like that, and they were brokers or all this stuff, whatever. So they were doing very well, and they were saying the same thing he's saying. He goes, look, we're gay, and we don't like this woke crap. Just leave us alone. This is not what we're about. We don't subscribe to all that, because it's just and I believe that. I believe it's a small minority of that group. That's, like I said, they see that this is their time to shoot their shot, and unfortunately they have the bullhorn right now. And it will be taken from them eventually. Yeah.
I see it totally different and everything. I see it. I see it totally different than my generation. My generation, the gay community, they're to me, Gen X, that to me, they're heroes. And the reason why I say that is because you think back to all through history, a small group of people standing up to the mass, the mob, and all that kind of stuff. So the gay community, when I was younger, they were coming out, right? And it was like, what? What do you mean gay? It's crazy, These in the gay community, they're coming out, and their families were like disowning them and stuff like that, right? But they held their ground. They were like, look, I love my family, but this is who I am, and I'm going to live this way. Accept me for who I am. And it was like, all right, well, why would you disown them? But then, people, different culture, different time, everything, but they stood their ground. So very strong group, I thought, I was like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So they stand their ground. And then they got this other person that's just literally the most evil person, Dr. Evil, that I've ever seen publicly, is this Fauci guy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This ass wagon, man. He's a complete. I would love to see how he explains to his maker what he's done to so many people in his lifetime. But anyway, he comes out, right? And so people are like getting over the gay thing. First, they're like, gay. But they're starting to get over it. And the gay community, they're like being invited to family dinners. And, it seems like they're starting to accept it more, and they're not so upset, but they're standing strong. Then they start getting invited to family events and everything. And this jackwagon comes out and publicly, and look up the video and everything. I think it's important that people see this is the kind of person you're dealing with. He comes out publicly and says, well, we're very concerned because AIDS and HIV had been coming out and everything like that. And they're very concerned we need to learn more about AIDS and HIV and everything, because we're concerned that it could be something that you can get by just being in the same room with them. So now the community's like, wait, what?
Scare the hell out of everybody.
Yeah. So then people that were like,
Jack
okay,
up,
come
man.
on, we accept your lifestyle. You are our son, our daughter, whatever. And then
Yeah.
then this shit happens to them, and then they're like, well, we don't want to catch. See, this is a scenario.
It's the same playbook.
Right.
They
Same
did-
playbook.
they
It's
did with
like,
COVID.
you have to basically, if the person that comes to your Christmas and Thanksgiving isn't vaccinated or whatever, you have to banish them and all that kind of stuff. It's like, you know what? I read this playbook and I saw it firsthand back in the 80s when you treated the gay community like if you were in the same room with them, you could get a fatal disease, just like now. So they play this thing, but the gay community, they stood up, man. They stood up. But the problem that I have is a lot of them that got sick and that they died from AIDS. And my part in it is like, if you watch, I've talked about this before, the Dallas Buyers Club, it is the evil person in that movie is Fauci. And to this, I don't know how it's worked out. It just disgusts me so much, but the not the cure, but the treatment was withheld from that community, and thousands of them died. And to me, that generation of the gay community, they've earned my respect. And I can honestly say, and it gives me a perspective when someone tells me that they're gay or whatever. I'm like, okay, but you don't have to tell me that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you if I'm sleeping with women or men. I mean, that's just not going to be, I'm not going to go tell you that. You don't have to tell me that.
It's none of our business. I don't
Yeah.
care.
If you want to tell me that to make yourself feel better or whatever, that's fine. But I'm going to judge you on your character. Who you're sleeping with is none of my business,
Yeah.
unless it's with me.
Yeah.
Then we probably got to
Yeah.
talk.
I mean,
But-
of course. You probably want to know, right?
Yeah, I'll be like, wait, now, how
I got you.
how that escalated quickly, man.
Yeah.
I did not know that we were a couple.
Oh, you're saying, listen, telling everybody.
Yeah.
Chris, you and I have been sleeping together for the last year.
Whoa,
Wait, what
really?
the
I
fuck?
did not know that. We got to have some ground rules. Like,
Yeah.
you got to know my safe words, all that kind of stuff.
Pineapple, whatever your word is. I forgot what it is. Strawberries.
No. See, now you got to go do that, man. No, but that's that. But then I kind of understand that. I understand, I have a lot of respect for the gay community and all that kind of stuff. But then they are really getting hijacked by these people out there that, and see, there's transgender people out there that just want to live their lives just like the regular gay community and all that kind of stuff. They just want to, live their lives, and they're not going to do anything crazy or do anything stupid. But then you have some of these people, some of these internet people that are out there. The guy that was on the girl or whatever you call them that was on Bud Light cans. They're just making fun of the gay community and women. That's just a joke. That's 100% a joke, man. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, any woman out there, biological woman that thinks she knows what it's like to be a man, they are seriously wrong. And any man that thinks that they know what it's like to be a woman, just wake up one day and I know what it's like to be a woman. They're full of crap, dude.
Oh,
You
man.
I could never even imagine what women have to go through and what they do and everything. And I wouldn't fake it like I
Yeah.
did know that. So that's me. I probably need another shot too.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
no.
you're like,
Why-
take
why-
another shot and shut up.
Why
Chris.
don't you just tell us how you really feel, Chris? I feel like you're holding back.
I'm sorry. We probably lost all our viewers.
Yeah,
I probably
it's all
got
good.
all kinds of messages from YouTube telling me I'm done.
They said the F word. Fauci. Fauci is a nice guy. Psh, fuck out of here, man.
Oh,
Crypto-
look at Prelvis. He knows what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Prelvis knows.
Oh, I was gonna answer crypto.
sorry.
Somebody up. What's his name? They were asking where's NR. Our NR is traveling right now. He's probably listening, but he's with the family, and he just he didn't want to be here because he's with the family, which is super important. But I'm sure he'll be tuning in a little bit later or tomorrow and tell me that we did a horrible job without him, and how dare we? But,
He's not going to say that.
yeah, no,
He's
yeah.
going to be like, man, I wish I could have been there for you guys.
yeah.
I wish that all that kind of stuff. And you know what? This is another thing too. I don't know if I can. let me
Polly
see.
says you're likely gaining viewers. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not in it for the views, Polly.
You see
I'm really
this?
not. Yeah, yeah.
See this? Do not give in. Do not give in to the
Oh.
war within. End veteran suicide. This
There
is
it
a project. I don't know if you can see that. The Valhalla project.
Oh yeah, the Valhalla. Okay.
So this is another thing that I wanted to bring up and I wanted to talk about. And I didn't talk to you about it beforehand because I was like I was a little pissed off about it. So if anybody knows me, I'm a veteran. I have veteran friends. They go through quite a bit, a lot of struggles, all that kind of stuff. And I was watching something that disturbs me a lot. It's when veterans, they have issues where they have to reconcile things that they've seen and done in the course of their duty. They come back home and they have these struggles. Well, an alarming number of them are not seeking help through the VA. And it's like, I think the study says 35% of veterans do not seek help through the VA.
That's sad, man. That's sad.
Yeah, and the reason why, because as soon as they acknowledge that they have mental health issues that they need help with, they lose. It's a bureaucrat doing this. This is not. They lose their Second Amendment rights.
Oh yeah.
So there's a whole lot of veterans out there that are not seeking help because of the fact that as soon as they do, they need to be assigned a fiduciary. And once they're assigned a
man.
fiduciary, they lose their Second Amendment rights by bureaucrats, not by the Constitution or even by lawmakers. There is no law. And the problem that I have is they need this help and they can't say anything. So when we talk about veteran suicide, it's squarely in the hands of our government and these unelected bureaucrats that are hurting all of them. So if you have any time or whatever, I mean, check it out and maybe voice your concerns with your politician, your local government and stuff like that, and see what you can do to help that out. It's 23 veterans a day. So it's a tough subject. I know that we don't really want to talk about it and we'll probably get in all kinds of trouble, but we owe them. Nobody owes me anything, but my other veteran brothers and sisters, we owe them more than what we can repay them. And this
100%,
could be
man.
just a small thing that you could do to help them out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm going to take a shot and then shut up because
Bravo says when you start to understand eugenics, you'll start to understand what Fauci, Ouchie, and others are doing. And I agree with you, Provis, 100%, man, 100%. Yeah, it's what does this all have to do with crypto and the Vulcan
Yeah.
blockchain and Prism, everything, guys, because being able to participate in the free markets, as we know them today, that could all go away without our First Amendment, the ability to think outside of the box, ask questions. Right at you, brother. Ask questions, the right questions, or any question. Whenever, if you guys want to understand, for those of you that have been on this journey with us the last year and a half with shithead or dickhead, whatever his name is, and how he controlled the narrative, he controlled the mods, he controlled many of the influencers. It was all about groupthink. If you said anything outside of that narrative, you were shut down.
Yeah.
And this is a small community of 2,000, 2,500 people. Okay, not 20,000 in Discord. I'm sorry, that's all fake. It's 2,000, 2,500, maybe even less than that. Okay, those are the true holders. Those are the true. This is the real community that stuck around. Senseifu, if you guys understand that if this one guy was able to, maybe it's a couple of guys. I believe it's a couple of guys. It wasn't just him. There's others involved. A couple of people were able to control thousands of people just with the freaking token. Imagine what governments are doing with the world, or with those in their countries. What you saw is basically a banana republic, in a sense, a tyrant, or I would say banana republic, some tyranny just on a small scale. Well, that concerns me, because if it'll happen inside of a Discord, imagine when the government comes in and they do it on a grander scale across all Discords. Imagine regulation comes in and all of a sudden they start controlling all the Discords. And the reason I say Discord is because this is where a lot of us go to get information and ask questions and communicate about what's going on in projects and all these things. But imagine if regulation came in. I'm talking about the regulation we don't want, the one that's actually doing it in the real world right now, the real monetary systems that we're trying to get, the centralization that we're trying to get away from, because it's rigged. We don't want it rigged here. So this is why it's super important that we as the crypto communities, we self-educate ourselves, so that way we can self-regulate ourselves. It starts with education first. You gotta understand contract. You don't have to be a developer, but you gotta understand there are resources out there that will edify you, or at least inform you on, should I get in this project or not. Not only that, you got to understand what happens when you actually participate on blockchains in the transactions. You got to understand what happens when it goes from one address to the other. You got to be able to read that stuff at least at a fundamental level. Understand the basics. It's just, if you're informed, you're going to inform your neighbor, and then he's going to inform their neighbor, and before you know it, everybody's informed, everybody's educated, and the space becomes that much closer to self-regulation. Yeah. Which is what I am shooting for. I don't want regulation, not the kind, because it sounds like such a blanket statement. I don't want any regulation. Me and Fowler we'll talk about this, and he knows what I'm talking about. I know what he's talking about. We both meet in the middle on this, and I would say not even meet in the middle. We both agree that we know there has to be regulation, but I want to be able to regulate it as a community, not the government come in and regulate it. And I think that starts with us. And I think, we've been hearing this. I've been hearing this for the last year and a half that I've been in DeFi, where I've been involved in the altcoin communities and all these things, as far as back as Doge and SafeMoon and Safefu, whatever, as far as regulation, that there, this is the wild, wild west. This is what it is. Only it's 3%, 5% of the population's in crypto. Wait till it gets globally adopted. It's going to go crazy. It's going to the moon, even though we never landed. But they're saying all these things, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen unless we stop the Brian Legends of the world. Okay. And he's and John Caronis. I mean, there's plenty of them. I'm not going. There's tons of the people that have rug projects out there, right? And devs, right? You know who you are, and I'm sure many of us have been involved in those projects, and that's why it's super important that you guys ask questions. So it all comes down to the fundamentals of freedom of speech, and then of course the ability to protect that freedom of speech is what I solely believe in, and back 1,000% is the Second Amendment. But nonetheless, I don't know where Chris went. I think he said he had to go take a shot. That's probably where he went. But yeah, crypto self-defense. Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice, right? But I do believe, guys, that we can absolutely self-regulate. You know, I like to I like to think about. I've talked about it many times. You know, this movie, A Bug's Life. I remember when I was newly married. I was in my early 20, 21, 22 years old, and the movie Bug's Life came out. It was a Pixar movie, I believe, and you know, it was probably one of my favorite movies because I got to watch it with my kids. But I was very young. I was a very young adult at that point. You know, I mean, I was just, and technically I was still a baby. You know, 21 years old. What the hell did I know, right? Um, but I just remember this one scene in that movie where it's, if you understand that movie, look it up. There's a scene, you can Google it. It's on YouTube. There's a grasshopper who, if everybody knows what happens with grasshoppers, the ants work all summer, right, storing up the food, and the grasshoppers come in and they steal the food from the ants. That's pretty much what happens in nature. So that's kind of what the premise of this story is. I'll never forget this guy named Hopper comes in, shows up with all his grasshopper friends, and they basically show up, and the ants are scared. There's like a million ants and like 100 grasshoppers, right? And the ants are scared. All they want to do is just give them. Let's give the grasshoppers what they want so they can leave because they're bigger than us. Well, you know, long of the short is one ant starts to tell the other ants, "Hey guys, we outnumber them 1,000,000 to 1. Why are we giving them our riches? Why are we giving them our taxes? Why are we giving them what we've been storing up and working for our families? Why? I mean, why are we allowing that to happen?" So the grasshopper, or Hopper is his name, the main guy, he begins to tell his fellow grasshoppers, "Hey, we got to keep the ants in check because they outnumber us 1,000,000 to 1. And the moment they realize that, our way of life is done." Well, people, you know, community, humans, at the end of the day, the way we get the word out is doing what we're doing right now, talking about it. If we all understand that if they need us more than we need them, their way of life is over. And I'm talking about those that want to come in and manipulate down even to the small projects that we're a part of, you know, where they're controlling everything, like the Brian Legends. And even you want to take it all the way up to the governments that we participate in. We have to, as a species, we need to understand that this is not how humans are supposed. We're not supposed to be born, work, die. That's it. That's not supposed to be the human experience. And pay taxes all the way, you know, all the way to die. It's not supposed to happen, you know. And I think we need to. I know me bringing up a cartoon or, you know, CGI movie, but that movie I was in my early 20s when it came out. It stuck, and I'm 46 now. It's stuck with me, especially as I begin to unplug from the Matrix. I believe that little part of that story, it really profoundly changed the way I started to think and how I participate in the governments and at work, you know, in communities. And so I decided, you know, if it's got to be, it's up to me, you know. And so we all need to wake up. What's this? Pineapple on non-pineapple pizza, or he says pineapple and non-pineapple on pizza must pause their age-old war immediately as in a greater 13 minutes. Look, pineapple on pizza is amazing. It is amazing.
All right,
Now,
well,
it's not my go-to, but I'll eat it.
well, I mean, you know, OBZ made it and kind of convinced me that there could be a shot there. But when you're putting watermelon and that lemon and kiwi on there and stuff, come on, man, come on.
Kiwi, not about all that. Kiwi, come on, bro. There's only two things I put on pizza. All right, that doesn't belong on pizza. That one would be pineapples, and the other one is mustard.
And
That's it.
what the?
But I don't do mustard and pineapple together. It's one or the other. All right.
All
If you
right.
guys haven't had mustard on pizza, then you haven't had pizza. I'm sorry. You know. If
Oh
you
my
like-
God, dude!
if you like
you know
mustard.
what? You know what? This
Try it.
is,
Hey.
mustard on pizza. What the
Man,
hell's this?
bro,
Is what Sky High is talking about. He sent this to my day. This is the real threat to humanity right here.
that right there. It is, dude. Kiwi
And
on pizza.
wait.
What the hell is that, dude? Blech.
What's
I don't even
what's
like- I
all
don't
this
even like
about it in the chat? It says if any of you want, you can report my comments to the Canadian government for hate speech and
And be paid
be
for it.
for it.
Nah,
What-
man.
is he commenting something? He seems like he's cool.
Well, in Canada, they actually have the thought police there. You know, you can go to jail if you mispronounce somebody,
Oh, that's
they,
what he's talking
and
about.
they'll go, if you hear something, say something. It used to be if you see something, you say something. In Canada, it's if you hear something, say something. So hey, if that guy's speaking like he's not he's not non tolerant, non inclusive, throw him in jail. That's sad, man. That is sad. It's unfortunate. You don't think that's really happening, but it is. It's been happening in China for freaking 100 years. Now it's happening in Canada. It's been happening in Cuba, obviously, but it's even happening in New York.
Dave's like, I gotta be sky high to be putting mustard.
Try it, bro. Try it. Hey, if you don't like it, I'll pay for your pizza, bro. All right, I'll sell you, man.
Man, that's
It's good, man.
Oh wait, what'd you miss? Here, I'll just bring it up one more time so you get.
Nah, man, it's gross, man.
Yeah, we gotta see it,
bro. You're killing my buzz with that fucking pizza. With that, man. Sorry.
I forgot to say this too. That's banana. There's banana, kiwi, lemon, and watermelon. Dude, seriously. That's what's wrong with this world right here. This picture right here, Sky High's right. This is the real threat to humanity.
The first thing
right
that
here.
comes to mind when I see that is diarrhea. I'm sorry. Get that picture. How dare you, Sky? How dare you? What's that? But yeah, try it,
I'm
Dave.
gonna report you for sending stuff like that to me.
That's an upset stomach for a week, man.
Oh,
Right?
man.
There's not enough Tums, man, to take care of that, dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah, give it a shot, man. I mean, my sister, one of my older sisters, had me try it. She didn't think I'd like it. I've loved it ever since, man. I don't know. I mean, mustard's got a real, mustard seed. It's a real strong taste. If you like mustard, then you'll understand. But it's good stuff. My pronouns are America.
Yeah. Hey, I want to take care of some business though. I got a couple of screenshots I wanted to bring up.
Bring it up.
It's a little bit about Vulcan and all that, and it's just some things I saw that I thought that I liked. So, this was a wow. Every single time I do this.
Before you do that, now you're just embarrassing yourself, Dave. Okay, now you're just embarrassing yourself. You don't put ranch on anything. Who the hell eats ranch? It's nasty. It's gross. That's my opinion.
I like my wings with ranch, dude, or blue cheese.
You also like your wings off the bone too, because let's just be real. Let's be real, bro.
I do. I don't like them with on the bone, dude, because
they're not called wings, bro. They're called chicken nuggets. Okay?
Yeah, they are, and that's why I do. Because listen, just whenever you get a chance, take the meat off there and look at the cartilage. It can't be cooked, dude. It can't cook it. So you are eating partially raw chicken every time you have it. I mean, you should be okay with it, but
I could eat the bone. I mean, the bone ain't cooked, maybe a little brittle.
I'm just saying. But here, let's
like
get
it off
on
the
to
bone
this.
too, yeah.
I need a couple more shots before I go toe to toe with you about the eating chicken wings. Yeah, see, Wolfram's like
chicken wing pizza dipped in red, bro. That's gross, dude. Dude, go ahead. I just got heartburn just thinking about it.
chicken wing pizza dipped in ranch.
That's funny. He's making shit up now. He's just saying words now. but funny as I visually saw it though. That's what's funny about it.
So you see this message. I'm not calling out Lion Legend. I'm just he was just making a comment. I mean, I'm not trying to, he may not want this up here or she, but says tomorrow's AMA is going to be wild. I'm going to blow our socks off, which I agree. That's pretty cool. But Nick comes back and says, I can't do wild. I can do serious, well thought out strategic business plan, numbers, dates, scenarios, risk, mitigations, innovation, that sort of thing. And I replied to this like, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
So
I
saw this,
and all the nerds went, I love you.
Yeah. I was like, okay, now I like it. This is good, Nick. But I thought that was pretty cool. He had mentioned that earlier today and everything. And then let me pull this sucker up. Then he did this one, and this is just informational for everybody because of the fact that I'm not sure if they understood the situation with the Bitcoin sacrifice checker. So he says, I'll just clarify the BTC aspect of the sacrifice checker. One, your BTC sacrifice is just fine. It never was and never will be lost. Two, we need to verify which Vol wallet is associated with the BTC deposit. It's a minor annoyance at best. And once we verify, the sacrifice checker will show the BTC deposits. The above is it. There's nothing else. And please don't listen to anyone else with any other scenarios. Let's see. We are trying to match BTC deposits to Vol accounts. That's it. Period. End of story. Thank you.
Cool. Just show
So
it.
it's always, I think there was a little bit of confusion that was going on about if everybody had to do that or what it was. But
Yeah, at least he addressed it, right?
yeah, so that sounds good. I'm happy with that. I thought that was important. I wanted to bring that up and let everybody know.
Oh yeah, I know he's been pretty active in the discords there. Dave says, I guess it went back to what I said about the the boneless wing pizza, whatever he talked. That's funny shit. And he goes, says the guy squirting mustard on his pizza. Look, this is how you squirt mustard on your pizza. You squirt pass, squirt pass, bro.
Dude,
you know what I'm talking
stop
about. Dave.
saying squirt, man. Just stop saying squirt.
Squirt pass. Think about it. He's gonna think about it when he tries it. Watch. He's gonna pass the mustard to somebody. Yeah, Dave says, he just goes, I want to see the transactions, especially for all the sacrifice. Yeah, that's what I want to see. So I just want it to be on paper on purpose. Show us the transactions, and the numbers have to add up. They have to add up. The blockchain doesn't lie, right? The transactions should be there. So what time is his AMA tomorrow?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard
So
Time.
is everybody
Correct.
listening right now? So is it 6 o'clock? So everybody listening right now, you guys going to tune into that AMA? Yay or nay, whatever.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, of course I am too. Yeah, but I know Brew's going to be all over that shit. Y'all better be. You better be. Dave's like, probably, bro. You're gonna be. You're be watching it. Or you gonna record? He's gonna DVR it. Hopefully it's not too not long-winded. He just comes out with the facts so we can go do our homework. You know what I mean? Like, here's this, here's the transactions, go, and then we go look it up and do our thing. Yep.
yeah.
And this is what we want, guys. This is what we want. This is what auditors do. There is no emotion involved in what they're looking at. They're just looking at the numbers. They're going to rip it apart, both good and bad, and that's what we want. Because if you only address the good and forget the bad, or don't address the bad, that's when people get wrecked, right? That's when people get hurt. So this is it. This is the mindset everybody needs to have right here.
Biz, do you have the link to? It's on the YouTube channel, right?
For the AMA tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have to go find these guys. I follow them, but they never come up. The Vulcan blockchain, it's like I can never find them.
Yep. So Paulie says, Nick got paid for a lot of nothing. This is why you need to explain the prison, Tony. Yeah. So my understanding is, and what he's talking about is, my understanding there's about 900K or more that was paid to Decentrology for them to be working on the blockchain. And I believe that's the number. Does that sound about right, Chris? It could be plus or minus.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's plus or minus 900K just for development, okay, that's a lot of hours, man. That's a shitload of hours.
Well, I
of
think that
development.
one thing that we have to take into consideration too is he was working for a batshit crazy douchebag. So the constant changes and the different things that the king of the egg yolks was doing. I mean, we don't know that stuff, but I could just imagine the shit that came out of that guy's mouth, and then went back to Nick and was like, "Oh, redo this or do that," So I don't know. But I agree with what Paulie the Cat's saying.
Yeah.
But
so in our regard to Prism, so we've got hardware costs and we've got development costs, and we've been at this for about 6 months now, maybe 5 to 6 months of Prism, and we're
Well,
not
it
even.
seems like an eternity though. But
Yeah,
I
it-
wanted
it
it.
does-
I
it
wanted it
does.
released 6 months ago. Though I was
It's probably
like,
4 or
do it
5.
now.
It's probably 4 months ago, but it feels like it does. I mean, but we got to do it right, do it once. And the reason why there are delays is because we're not taking shortcuts, guys. We want it done right, and we're actually building into it. We're thinking scalability. That's what it's all about, scalability. But when you're looking at the cost to run this thing, you got the hardware cost and the operation hardware, and then you got the development cost, and we're nowhere near. We're not even in the 100K range. Okay, 4 months. So we're talking about Decentology working on this thing for a year and a half, or maybe not even a year and a half. They started November, I think, right? So not even a year yet, and they're already damn near $1 million. I mean, unless he had 20 developers working on this thing 24, I was not 24/7, no one can work that. I don't know, 8 hours a day. I don't know, man. They're getting per diem. I mean, that's a lot of money just for development. I just don't see it. I mean, but again, I don't know. I don't know exactly what he was paid for. I mean, he may explain that out. So this isn't me saying, hey man, there's no way you were worth that. I just don't know what you did. Based on the project, Prism specifically, we're nowhere near that. Okay, it ain't gonna cost us $3 million to launch a blockchain. I'll tell you that right. To launch Prism, I'll tell you that right now. I mean, we could, we could do that. I can just, pull out all the stops and just, get gold plated servers and shit. But we ain't gonna do that. All right, gold plated solid state drives or whatever. But anyways, but when it comes to that's the hardware and software development. So that's my concern is what did we pay for? Hopefully he breaks it down, so that way we can at least have peace for it. Like, okay, this is what you did. Maybe it wasn't all development. Maybe there was some consulting. If it was not just development, I'm thinking hands on keyboard, hands on keys. The writing code changes, writing code. I mean, I get that, but it's going to be that plus additional. Like there's some sort of consulting. Maybe they're helping him with other services and other things they're wanting to do with the Vulcan. With I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking. I just can't see it just being 900K. I don't see it. And here's a real world example. So we got Prism, right? I mean, I know what it cost me, and trust me, it ain't even close to that, right? As of now, right? So, and we're just about at testnet. Okay, so we're already at the door of testnet, and we ain't at 900K. We barely got testnet with Vulcan, and they're already $900,000 and more. That's going to be coming down the pipe here. So, but that's blockchain technology. But I've got a client that we actually that I got. I work with software developers. I got one of my best friends owns a software development company in Frisco. Frisco, Texas, and I was able to get him some work with one of my clients here. They needed some proprietary software written for their. I don't want to give away too much information. They just needed some sort of ERP system that needed to be written specifically for the niche market that they're in. Okay, it was about 8 months to about a year, maybe almost 12 months worth of work. Probably 5 to 6 devs on this thing at any given time, plus the senior devs. So I would say 6 devs, 200K. Okay, 200K. That's it. All right, 200K. That's software. So that's why I want to know where this 900K is coming from. So not to beat a dead horse, but I've got questions. Doesn't mean I won't get the answers, and I'm not saying I need to have the answers. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where that money's coming from, or where if he was underpaid, overpaid. I don't know. I would like to see more information on that. And so thanks Polly for bringing that up, because I got questions, man, and I hope I get some answers.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. And that's why I'm looking.
And Prism is so he says, what is Prism? So sorry to interrupt you, Chris, but Prism.
No, go on Prism, because I also got. I think something's in the backyard. I got to check.
Okay, all right, no worries. So Prism is a layer 0 blockchain. All right, it's not a layer 1, and it's coming off the Cosmos stack. So it's not something, we're not forking from anything. We're actually building it from scratch, layer 0. Whereas this has already been admitted, Vulcan, and it's not a bad thing, guys. It's not bad. It's just it was a fork of Ethereum layer 1, so it's completely different from what we're working on. So, in other words, Vulcan can be built off of Prism if they wanted to. I know Cosmic Force is building their own blockchain. They could build that off of Prism because it's a layer 0. If that makes any sense. So it's a completely different, I would say, approach to building each to a layer 0 and a layer 1. And a layer 0, it takes a lot more. It takes a lot more development because they're having to write the code from scratch, right? To some degree. Whereas a fork it's mainly done for you. You're just changing some things internally. You're adding some things to layer 1, and there's some rewrites or whatever, some reconfigurations or recoding, if you will. But it's not as it is as a layer 0 where it's completely different. But I hope that makes sense. Any more questions about Prism? Wolf says, honestly don't understand a word that you're saying. So, it's the whiskey, man. It's the whiskey. So we are building. I'm with a group of guys, a company. It's called Light Labs. It's from the TCL community. Prism Chain is the actual layer 0 blockchain that we're building. Prismchain.io. All right. You can actually go to that website, prismchain.io. You can join us on the Discord, and you'll be able to get all the information regarding the blockchain, the layer 0 blockchain that we're working on. Vulcan is a layer 1. So, if you think about it just as it sounds, layer 0, layer 1, layer 2, it's just a stack. It's building off of the layers. Vulcan is coming off of an already made blockchain, which actually it's a fork from Ethereum. Fork meaning it was split. They're taking what Ethereum was, I believe it was Ethereum, and they're just making it their own. That's when they added the rebasing and all these other mechanisms that they have added. But I hope that makes sense. I probably just said a lot more of what I just said a minute ago, but there's plenty of information out there, Wolf. Just understand this, that I think the whole point of me talking about Prism Chain is comparing the cost. Like there are some things said that there was just facts thrown out from Brian that if you guys remember his little spreadsheet that I think it was 5 rows, and he said that he paid $1 million or whatever less to Decentrology for development of the blockchain. And Nick says, nope, not so fast. It was like $900K, I think is what it was. So Nick corrected him on that. So the question is, $900,000 spent so far. How come we're not already at how come it's not done, or we're not at mainnet, whatever? And those are the questions. Why did it cost so much, or was it not enough? We just want to know those questions, right? Oh, and next question. Why are you doing Prism? Well, there's 4 founders. It's myself, NR Legend, Randall, and of course you guys know TCL. We all have our individual stories, our individual reasons, our own why we're doing it. But as a whole, we're doing it because, I would say, let me address why I actually am excited about being involved in this project, and being on this team. Because of everything that's happened in the last year and a half, having to buy a node, I didn't have to, I willingly jumped in that deal. Don't get me wrong. But when I actually sacrificed I could have just cashed out of SafeUX, but I decided to sacrifice and put that money, it was like $12,000, and to buy an NFT that gives me access to run a validator node on the Vulcan blockchain. I didn't know then that wasn't commonplace, that no one buys nodes. No one sells NFTs for nodes. I didn't know that. It wasn't until after I got in. And the only reason why I jumped in that deal is because we were supposed to be getting the tax revenue. So the story was from the team, hey guys, and they threw up a calculator and everything. If you buy a node, if you own a node, and there's like 500 full nodes, validator nodes that were sold, and plus I think 1,500 light nodes. But if you bought, and I was able to get one of the 500. But if you buy this node and you're able to participate in the Vulcan blockchain, the rewards you're going to get are going to be from the taxes that the blockchain actually charges those that participate and transact to the Vulcan coin, right? So we as node holders, we're going to get 10%, 10%, of 100%, not 100% tax, but I think they were charging 10% tax, and we were going to get 10% of that, right? And so when you did the math, and they had this calculator and everything, so it made sense, because wow, I mean, if we have a million volume a day, or 100 million, or whatever, a billion, whatever it is, these nodes, because there's so many of them, 500 is overkill, honestly. There's no, if you look at Binance, they don't have 500 nodes. They have 50, 45 nodes, right? We have 500. So trying to split transaction fees, or the gas fees between 500 nodes, there's no return on investment. And it's going to take a long time to get that return on investment. So they offered the taxes, which is why I jumped into it. So long or the short is, they pulled the taxes. They said, sorry, nothing to see here. We never said that. We don't know what you're talking about. You've been drinking too much whiskey, Kryptonian. We never said taxes, but we all know that you said taxes. So that pissed me the hell off. So then I started actually opening my eyes and my ears and listening to others in the community saying that, they were explaining to me, look, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to actually sacrifice for a node. And then, me and the community that I was in, which is the TCL community, the crypto lead community, we got together. We said, you know what? We're tired of the bullshit. Why don't we build a block? Well, actually, it wasn't even a blockchain yet. TCL and Randall and others in the community decided to launch a token. Not on Binance. It was on an Arbitrium. It was on the Arbitrum blockchain, which was a new one coming out. So they launched a token called Arbitrium. And it was just for fun, just a community thing we were going to do. And it actually turned out to do very well. It actually did very well within the community. We had people outside the community coming in. Oh God, and it's actually still doing well, guys. So we were like, wow, this actually did something. Wow, it's just exciting. And it was like, why don't we make a blockchain? And we're like, well, let's look into it. What is it going to cost to build a blockchain? And this is to your question. Why are we doing Prism now? Why Prism? Because then we started looking into what it would cost to actually build a blockchain. We started speaking to those that actually do it for a living. Bob is is our senior dev. And he just started kind of just dropping all kinds of information on us. So we did our research. All right. And we're going, man, it's going to cost $3 million, $6 million. Because we were being told by the Vulcan team that it's going to cost, it's going to cost millions of $2, $3, $6 million to build a blockchain or whatever it was, millions. So we're thinking, damn, well, there's no way we could do that. Shit, that's a lot of money, right? To spend millions on a blockchain and not even guaranteed it's going to even make any money. But as we began to do our own research individually, at least me specifically, because by professionally, I'm an IT guy, right? I manage medium to small businesses. I'm a full service IT company. I spin up servers like I'm breathing, like it ain't no thing to me, right? I have access to all kinds of resources and assets, right? In that regard. So I started looking at what it would cost to spin up some master nodes and build the environment for Prism. And I was like, shit, it ain't going to cost us millions of dollars, guys. It's going to cost us not millions. Okay. Maybe a couple $100,000, all in. Okay. Maybe if we do it right and efficient. So we begin to say, all right, well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's do this thing. Let's build a blockchain. So that's what started it. We wanted to show that we could do it. Well, show ourselves, really for us, that it could be done. And as we began, and we kind of threw it out there to see if anybody would was interested in us, and be interested into because this is a completely decentralized blockchain. If there would be anybody interested in actually spinning up nodes or whatever, without us selling them to you, right? And just the community engagement, understanding that it's not just from the Seifu community and the Vulcan community. We got other communities that this is what they do. This is what they go around to different communities or different networks, and they're actually they participate in all these different blockchains. So point I'm making is that it didn't, the reason why I jumped into this thing is because I love crypto, and, I was obviously participating into the altcoins, and, I'm a degener and all that jazz. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. So for me being an IT guy, why wouldn't I want to be part? I build networks, locally, in the cloud. Why wouldn't I want to build a blockchain? It can't be that much different, right? So for me, this is the last frontier for me in my life, in my professional life. I want to do this. I love this stuff. I love the tech. And then I was able to surround myself with some great guys that want to do it right. All right. Tired of the bullshit, tired of the scamminess. We're tired of the lies. We're tired of the tyrannical approach to controlling the narrative. And all. My point is this: we saw what was supposed to be forging DeFi, decentralization, turned out to be completely centralized in all aspects. So we're with the Y Prism, because we're showing that this is what true decentralization looks like when it comes to building a blockchain, and it's a community effort. And here's the great thing about this: if you want to participate in Prism, all right, we're not going out as as the founders. We're not going out asking anybody for help. I'm not saying, hey, why don't you send me some Bitcoin and you're guaranteed a spot at the table. We're not doing that. We're building it in-house on our own, out of pocket, our own pocket, which means we don't, which is good for everybody that wants to participate. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the way, like say Vulcan approached it, we've got, at least 500 holders of nodes, or just our money, me one of them, my money's staked in that blockchain. I can't do anything now. It's vested. Now it's going to be some time before I even begin to see my return on that. So, without me rambling it much more, this is why Prism, because for me personally, I wanted to show that it can be done without spending millions of dollars, right? Millions of dollars. Also, I wanted to build a blockchain, be part of a blockchain that actually has a lot of the bells and whistles that others that I've been in part of, like not built, but like have participated in, Polygon, and Avalanche and all those, where I'm like, man, if they only had this blockchain only actually operated like this, or had these services or modules or whatever, the scalability. So what we're doing is we're building an actual blockchain, and I'm bringing what I want, and the other guys are bringing what they want, the things that we think that are important to us, and we're getting a lot of good information from the community, those that are interested in it. And so this is why it's taken a bit longer to bring it to launch, or at least so you guys can check it out, is because we've gotten so much positive feedback on this thing that it just keeps getting better and better and better, and we love it. So why Prism? Because we can. I don't have to go and raise millions of dollars from you, all right, to build a blockchain. It's taken a small group of us, and we're showing it could be done. We're doing it. It's happening right now. So we're excited about it, but that's my take on it. And NR probably has his own approach, his own reason for it, TCL and Randall, but that's my stake in the ground, if you will, if it makes any sense. So hopefully that answers your question. He goes, sorry, I pushed you, but it's good till the end go. Yes. No, you didn't push me, man. I haven't been able to really talk about Prism in a long time because of all the shit show that everything's, we've been a part of for the last few weeks. And guys, this isn't me trying to show anything to you guys. If you're interested into if you want to know more about Prism, prismchain.io, and get all the information there, and we're not doing any sort of, I need you to send me some Bitcoin or Ethereum or Arbor. No. You'll see, guys, you'll see. We're excited about this. I mean, I'm super excited about it. There's no pressure. And to that point, there's no pressure on us. I mean, because no one staked any of their tokens to get this thing launched as it is with Vulcan, and again, I willfully did that. All right. Because I thought that's what I had to do, but I learned that wasn't the case. It's okay. I hope, with that being said, Nick can come around, show us the math, show us the maps, show us make sure the maths, and give me something to look forward to with Vulcan. I still want it to be successful. And, I was told at one time that I was actually, by Brian Legend, me, and I'm talking about Prism, was actually considered competition to Vulcan. We're not competition, because we're layer 0. No, you're not. We're on a completely different level than Vulcan. Okay, Vulcan can build off of. If Vulcan wanted to come build off of Prism, they could. It'd be different if Vulcan was building a layer 0. They're not going to okay, now we're going in the same direction. We're on the same playing field here, or level playing field, but that's not the case. So they're not competition. We hope, I hope I'm obviously vested in Vulcan. I want it to do well. Of course, I got my money in there, right? As we all. but I'm also just as excited for Prism because I've got my money in there, you know, personally, but I've got my heart in Prism. I mean, I'm doing what I love to do. I feel like, you know, for such a time as this, I'm finally getting to do. I love tech. I love cryptocurrency. I'm falling in love with blockchain technology, and every day it seems like I learn something new every day. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, I'm having fun, and there's great opportunities for everybody here. So enough rambling about it, but that's it. That's the Prism story, at least in my regard. I hope that makes sense, and I'll answer any questions if you guys have any further questions, of course. But you're not pushing at all, Paulie, man. Not at all, man. Cool. Yeah. Biz, if you're out there, man, if you could pull up or post the Prism Chain website and the Discord link and throw it up there for these guys to check it out. If you're not part of the Discord, guys, go ahead, jump in, and it's a great community. So understand the TCL community we're nothing like Brew. And what I mean by that is this. Brew, Brew is way ahead of us. Okay. The Brew Discord was already, I mean, they've already been had to deal with the likes of a Brian Legend, okay, and all the shit show that he created. They were trying to warn everybody. By the time we figured out what was going on, Brew guys were like, "What took you so long?" Right? So that's the difference. So, but it's the same type of mindset. It's the same type of community. If you're not in Brew Discord, you got to check them out, and definitely check those guys out. You're gonna learn a lot of shit. That's where I started to learn more than I could possibly imagine was from those guys. And if you come over to the Prism Chain .io or the Prism Chain Discord, you're going to learn about what we're doing with Prism and Arbitrimium. But that community we're just you know, you get to a point in your life where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And those are the guys that are in the Brew and the Prism Chain Discord. We're just sick and tired of being sick and tired of what? Of the scammers. Of people telling us that, oh, you don't need to know everything. Trust me. No. You're not going to get that there or over where I'm at, where I lay my hat at, guys. So I hope you guys join us. Appreciate it, Biz. Because you're more than welcome to hang out. You can ask any questions about Prism Chain, about Arbitrimium, anything we got going on over there. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of fun over there. I will say this though, that there's a lot of adults in there, a lot of adults. So expect adult conversations about life, about money, and just there's no sugarcoating. And that's the way it should be. When it comes to the matters of money and life, people, you got to have adult conversations about this stuff. The whole notion, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. No, facts don't care about your feelings, and that's super important, especially when we start talking about, investing in projects or whatever. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Paulie says this. He says, we want more Prism content. I'm in it for a tiny amount, but I love what you're doing, and I'm hypocritical. You gotta be the Bob you want to see in the world. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So Bob, funny story between me and Bob. When he first started poking his head around, I think it was in the TCL Discord. I didn't know who he was. I mean, I didn't know what I didn't know yet. And he was just asking questions. That's all he did. And I'm like, who is this guy? This guy trying to flood my bag? He was just asking legitimate questions. Like, where's the liquidity? Like, why are you asking that? Doesn't matter. He told us it was safe. I didn't know that. I just didn't know what I didn't know. But so funny story is, I banned Bob I banned Bob one time in the TCL Discord. It was very early, Bob. It was me. It was me, bro. And now he's a mod on my channel, so he's all over the place. But I didn't know, and but I appreciated him. He was very persistent. Not just him, but his mindset. His motive is pure, and I'm talking about those in the Brew Discord. They're just persistent, man. If someone's trying to speak truth to you, and if it just goes over your head, you know what they do? They just go around you. Somebody's going to listen to them. And what happens is when it goes over your head and you realize your buddy's hearing it, and you're like, wait, what are they saying? Point is that they're persistent, and it's paid off. And I'm a much better safer participator, if I will, in this crypto space because of the people that I've met in the last few months. So, but there you go. There it is. Yeah. I didn't know, man. I didn't know who he was, and he insulted me. He called me Paul. No, I was joking. He called me pal or something. I forgot what it was.
Well, just to let you know that Bob is moderator in my YouTube, so yeah.
But you got the little B, Bob. I got the big. Mine's capital B. I'm just saying.
All right, well,
I knew him. No, I was joking. At the end of the day, I remember when I banned him. It was funny, man. Tisa was like, "Who banned Bob?" I was like, "I did." Why? They're like, "Hold up, man. He's actually got some good. Let him talk, And then after that, I was like, "Okay, I figured it out." But he knows I didn't mean it, bro. I didn't mean it, Bob.
yeah, I don't know about
Yeah, it was pretty funny, man.
Bob, I would hold it against him if I was you.
That's funny as shit, though, man.
Oh, okay, hold on a second. You got another question here on
What you got?
how come it's not coming up? There it is. Finally. Takes a while.
Explain coin allocation. I know Arbitramium didn't have allocations. What about Prism? So, all right. So remember, guys, I talked about Arbitramium, which is the token that we created just for fun, and it ended up doing well. I think it's still like 80x or something, whatever it is, but I think it's what it is. What we're going to be doing with that is you don't have to buy Arbitramium to get into Prism. I mean, you can just wait till Prism launches, whatever. But if you hold Arbitramium now, all right, we're gonna do you're gonna be able to swap it over, dollar for dollar. So if you have $300 worth of Arbitramium, you get $300 worth of Prism at the end of the day, But that's going to be the allocation of that. I hope that answers your question. You don't have to have it. We're not asking you to do that, but it's an option because Arbitramium is on its own, has nothing to do with Prism. We're just gonna bridge it. You know what I mean? We're gonna allow the swap, just because we can, because we're gonna be a layer zero, but Prism, Arbitramium is all on its own. It's, if you're familiar with reflections, that's if you look at the Arbitramium. If you guys, if you go to prismchain.io, there's actually a link that goes to Arbitramium, and it actually goes to the white paper. It talks about the tax allocation or the tokenomics is 3%, 1% goes to liquidity, 1% goes to reflections, the other 1% goes to burns, I believe. But that's it. It's just straight up clean cut contract, smart contract. And it's working, I mean, I'm of course, we as in the TCL community, we all jumped into it. It was just for fun, and it took off. I mean, it did very well. That's all I can say. It did very well. We were very surprised. We didn't know. We always talked about launching the token, and we did, and we got a lot of support and understanding. When we did that, we were already considered the TCL community. We were already seen very similar to the Brew Discord. We were considered the outcast, the fudders, the ones that are trying to FUD the bags of everybody in Vulcan. It was a tough time because we were all holders. We were all a part. Those in that community were already a part of the shenanigans that was going on. We were just asking questions, especially when it came to the nodes and the taxes. And so we decided to do our own thing, and it did very well, and it's still doing well. So we're pretty happy about that. Oh, he said about team allocations. No, yeah, that's a very, very important fact there, Sky. No, there is no team allocations for Prism, obviously, and for Arbitramium. So whenever we launched Arbitramium, it was I had to get ARM. The acronym is ARM. I had to get ARM just like everybody else. There was no team tokens given off. Like I don't hold 10%. TCL doesn't hold 20 or nothing like that. It's as fair as you can possibly be, which is good. So I don't have any advantage over anybody. I can go buy more if I wanted to, and you could as well. Anybody can come in right now and just buy some up. And, I mean, I don't have I don't own 20% of the supply or nothing like that. I'm not none of that, at all. So that's a good question, Sky. Thanks for asking, man. So that was to his point. He goes, that's what he was asking about. So Prism has no token allocation, or ARM doesn't, and nor does Prism. So yeah, there's no, especially with Prism, the team doesn't get tokens, or get coins because we're the team. Doesn't work anything like that, guys. Go ahead, pull it up. Yes, yes. There's only one commandment. You must eat mustard on your pizza. No, of course not, man. No sacrifices. I hate that word, man.
This is a good segue into one of those videos that we talked about.
I think so, yeah. So to your question, no, there's no sacrifices. There's no 7 commandments. There is no redemption. See, this is the difference between what we're doing, guys, and what BL is doing right now. So he made a comment the other day that I think on his last live or something. When I try to watch him, I'm getting snippets of it. He's out. I mean, just think about it, bro. Just think about it. Just pray about it. Just pray about it. No, but he said that he goes, this is my, I think he's doing BL. I think he's doing the GIMP token, whatever it's called. I think he's doing GIMP. You know what I'm talking about. The GIMP token with the 7 commandments, because he said it himself. He goes, this is his way. This is his chance for redemption. All right. This is his chance to prove it to everybody that, he's not a piece of shit, right? Time will tell. Time is running out. So, so we don't have sacrifices. We don't have any 7 commandments, anything like that. It's going to be just fair play. You want to get involved, you can. If you want to participate and spin up a node, you can. Now, I will tell you this though. If you join our Discord, if you go to the announcements, I think it's in the main announcement. It talks about, there's an announcement from TCL. It talks about if you want to actually participate as a validator and spin up a node. It isn't for the weak-hearted. I mean, it isn't like, hey, you just spin up a server. We're really truly looking for those that I mean, it's going to take some, you got to know what you're doing. All right, guys. I mean, there's going to be some maintenance involved, but the payoff, of course, if it ain't worth it, if it ain't worth it, then it's free, right? There it is. Go ahead.
You ready? You want me?
Yeah, go ahead.
These comments, man.
Now, if you were lucky enough to win it, then in the next week, can you win it again? Can you win it consecutively? The answer is yes. Okay. So obviously, the more Yomp you hold, the more tickets you hold, the greater chance that you can become a Yomp King, Yomp Queen, or disciple yet again. Okay. So that's all it is. Incentivizing you guys to literally buy and hold more to increase your chances to get more money. That's really all it is at the end of the day. I am sure that this pink sale is going to sell out in a handful of seconds. A handful, meaning a handful, as in like probably less than 5 seconds. I think so. I really do. Now, I did say that I think it's going to be probably like 10, 11, 12 odd seconds. If that's the case, that is still a huge win. But I think it's going to be less than like 5 seconds, maybe 6 seconds, something like that. I really do believe that. And the reason for that is because we're not looking to raise that much money.
The music, man. The music.
I know, man.
I feel like I'm in an Exorcist or something. Like, what the hell
Yeah,
is music?
check this out. I got this from one of our viewers.
He's like a god. It's like church music.
This is a British Reese cup.
Was that hummus?
I think it's baked beans.
Oh,
dude.
that's gross, man. Monkey Girl, I'm so sorry. I know you love baked beans. And in fact, beans and bread, she got me on that one. It's actually pretty good. All right.
What did you say? Baked beans on what?
Beans on toast. I think is what it is. I think it's called. Yeah, it was about a couple months ago. We were talking about it in Discord, and she sent me some pictures of it. It was actually pretty good. I found a place.
Man,
here
we
in the
eat that
Woodlands.
in the camp. When we camp and stuff like that, a can of baked beans and some toast, you just put it on.
I had no idea, man.
Yeah.
It's like a delicacy over there,
Well, I
We
don't
got-
think it's enough to get us the protein to keep going. But, I don't think it's.
I'm obviously being facetious, but she was telling me you got to try it, right? But that's funny, man, because I love Reese's peanut butter cups, but to have beans pouring out of it, that's gross. That's awesome, man.
It's like, yeah, you say it right here, Dave. I mean,
Gosh, man.
seriously.
Yeah, man. The beans, dude.
Yeah. See, the Wolf Room knows what I'm talking about, man. You can seriously. Back in the day when I was in the military, before we had MREs, we'd have C rations. And yeah, I mean, all it is now is like Chef Boyardee, and you just put a little water in there and you turn anything into edible food. I'm not sure if it was food, but I didn't die.
It wasn't.
So, but beans, I mean, all you gotta do is have a knife, man. And now they make those tops that just come right off and everything. So it's like,
Yeah, man. You used to
oh
have
my
that.
lord,
What?
you know what? This is getting a little bit crazy, man. That's all I'm
This is so
saying
many
is
nerds.
there are some crazy people out there, and you know what? You're feeding right into their madness, man.
Soak the bread in bacon.
Their
Hell,
madness.
I don't like bacon. Sorry, guys. I know I just hurt everybody's feelings out there. I don't do bacon. I don't do
Oh,
bacon.
listen to what he's saying here. Soak the bread in bacon fat first before adding the beans.
No, before that, run 5 miles to get your heart pumping because you're gonna need it to digest the freaking bacon fat. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
this is you, man. You've contributed to this
Hell,
society.
well, no, I don't know what that is. Is that potatoes or is that tomatoes on pizza? Hell no, bro.
Tomatoes. Yeah.
I like
those are
tomato.
tomatoes.
I like obviously the tomato paste, tomato sauce, but I've never actually had tomato. Well, I guess I have. No, man. So the way to do it is either pepperoni and mustard, right? Pepperoni pizza with mustard, or chicken, mushroom, pizza with mustard. That's it. There it is, man.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I'm about ready to tell you. You're just gonna have to walk away, man.
Nah, man. I'm telling you.
The
dude.
pineapple was something that I was considering. The mustard,
When you come to Brian, all right, we're gonna grab dinner. I'm gonna make sure I'm around for that one. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, if you bring
I'm-
mustard anywhere near that's fighting words, man.
I'm
Us
probably
people
like
up north, we don't mess around with that kind of stuff.
Probably an hour and a half from me, dude. Maybe 2 hours. I'd ride on my bike up there, man, my motorcycle. But I'll meet you. We're gonna grab 2 things that you don't normally get because you're not from Texas. Because we're gonna get barbecue. I know you get it in a can, but here we actually put it on a grill. Okay, and
Do you think I look like a person that eats
no,
barbecue?
I
out of
know
a
you
can?
don't. I was joking with you, bro. Yeah, Sky's right though. He is. Animal fat is good for you, but not pig fat, bro. Pigs ain't animals, man. Pigs ain't animals, dude. But I got some. And I say that I'm just joking because we got like hogs out here, man, and they're like squirrels are everywhere. Hey, looks like somebody just posted an announcement in the community. You want to pull it up? Mythos.
With our community or
No, it's going to be in the Vulcan. Looks like Plan B just made an announcement.
oh yeah, I got 2 notifications for stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, pull it up. Let's see
community.
what he said.
All right.
You guys ready for this? We're gonna learn something together. Yeah, pineapple on pizza is great, Dave.
Shit.
That's like dessert.
I gotta move this around because I got sensitive information out there.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just
Oh.
gonna screenshot it.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not gonna show that stuff. There is an attachment. All right. Here we are. In there. Let's go get it now. There it is.
Hey, Polly says Dave's no longer credible because he eats pineapple on pizza. That's funny.
The pineapple on pizza thing it's a little bit of a scary situation around these parts now. We're not all on there. All right, so is this the one what the heck are you doing? You want all the eyes on you?
What the hell did you just do, bro?
I didn't do anything.
My
You
bad.
check.
I don't know what happened. There you go. Boom.
There you go. You want us on there? Or you want to take us off?
That's good. Yeah, we can do that.
Wait, can they see it that way? Who knows? I got it up here. It says Plan B says we have gone through the community questions and everyone on the team has contributed to answering your questions. I understand there's a lot to go through, so please take your time reading it. You will find a lot of answers to a lot of common questions and assumptions. That being said, take note. there are still questions that will be answered in Nick Caliani's upcoming presentation. I encourage you to watch that with an open mind, knowing that everyone is putting your best interest first. Okay. Also, please have an understanding audits cannot be completed in a matter of weeks, and some comments are subject to legal advice. Ain't that the truest statement right there? I've been telling you,
it is.
there's a lot of things they can't be saying because
Yep.
if they have any legal people in there, they're telling them to shut up. We want to thank you for your patience, understanding, and empathy during these times, and most importantly, for asking these questions and being proactive in the community. Together, we want to build something great. We still have this opportunity, and we are thankful to have experienced people in the industry to guide plus develop us in the right direction. Please be thoughtful with too many questions in the chat after reading this, mostly because, like I said, yours may have been answered in the upcoming presentation. Thank you for the entire Vulcan team. Please see the attached PDF. So that's that. What do you think? What are you thinking?
Well-
You thinking?
Well, I haven't seen the PDF yet.
Yeah, I'm pulling the PDF up.
Okay.
I imagine this is going to be something that holy smokes.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna have to have people read this individually because this thing is long.
It looks like they answer all the questions. Yeah, we don't have to read it.
I guess it's not that long. It's 13 pages.
Well, you come from a generation where 13 pages was every Sunday morning when you pulled the paper from the yard.
I'm not sure what he was talking about, but I'll let him think about it for a minute. Okay.
I was like, what just happened? And they're talking.
What happened to the Kryptonian, man? Yeah, so let's see. I'm just scamming over scanning over it. Scamming over. That's a Freudian slip, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is Floridian slip there, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if there's so it's can you give more detail on how Brian leaving happened? Was Brian paid to leave? Is he now gone forever? Brian publicly announced his resignation on Twitter on July 9th, 2023. Alongside this announcement, he deleted the SafeFoodGo Discord server and communicated his departure to the Vulcan team via messages. This departure created significant stress for the team, as Brian had control over various aspects, including finances, Discord, and working agreements. Brian was not paid to leave. His departure was voluntary. As for his future involvement, he has resigned from the Vulcan team, and as of the current situation, is no longer associated with the project.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put this, let's see here. I'm going to get rid of this because I'm not going to read through all this tonight. They can read through it all. It's in the Discord. Wonder if I can just put the PDF in here in our chat, and we don't have to really worry about them having to go.
Yeah, Plan B just did it. I'm sorry, Biz just dropped it in there. He says, Plan
Okay,
B
he got that one. I wonder if I can upload that. No, I can't. So yeah, you're gonna have to go to the Discord. Biz put it in there. It's got a PDF in there. It's pretty long. Go through it and read it. And then what was in the other one? I think it's just telling me that there's an announcement. So let me double check. Yeah. Ooh. Yep. That I got another update. It's just the Plan B stuff, telling people to go to the community updates. So if you can't follow the link in there, it's in the Vulcan Discord under announcements, under community updates. And then you go scroll down, and then there's an attachment for a PDF you can open up and read the questions.
Yep.
So Oh, and life's great in Colorado. Is that Colorado? I mean, man, I spent some time in Denver
It's got to
back
be
in the day.
Colorado, yeah.
And man, that is a beautiful, beautiful country.
Well, it's definitely not Connecticut. I'll tell you that right now. Unless,
Yeah. Well, Connecticut has some nice parts too, man.
yeah, if you're filthy rich, if you're a politician, you live in Connecticut. But
I don't know. I wasn't rich, but I was only there for a little bit. But it
That's
seemed
right.
really nice. I spent a lot of time in Colorado, and it was a beautiful
Colorado's
place.
beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So,
You still have some users that are banned in Vulkan. If you're still banned in Vulkan, I suggest you.
you know what? I'm gonna put this. Are you guys in Brewfied? I'll take this thing right here and put it in Brewfied.
Yeah, you guys need to get unbanned. Seriously, you got questions, man. I mean, they need to hear you out, or at least that I'm sure the questions have most of the questions have been addressed. But at least you guys still get to participate in the, especially for holders of the of Vulkan, right?
Yeah,
it's
I mean, you
super
don't
important
wanna
that you
be-
guys get access to the information.
I think actually someone's put it in Brewfied. Nope. Yes, they did. XTZ put it in Brewfied just a few minutes ago.
Okay, cool.
So the PDF's in there, so you can go there and you can grab it. And,
Yeah, so I'll read it. I'll read it shortly after we get off the live here for sure. But I'm definitely looking forward to the AMA tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be in tandem with the PDF, and so I can understand respectively if there are some things that can't be answered because of legal matters. I get that. Which means that if there's legal matters, that means there's legal involved, which could be a good thing, because there's a means to an end typically when you get lawyers involved, because they ain't free.
whoa. So I guess we're gonna have to read this, man. I don't know about, I'm gonna have to read it, right? Like you said, write it when we get off. But question is, BNB are able to turn off nodes. Is this possible with Vol 2? Can this be removed? If so, Binance Smart Chain has 21 validators. Vol will have 500 validators. It is 23 times more decentralized than Binance Smart Chain. Therefore, it will be impervious to a few nodes being offline. Well, I don't know. I don't like that answer. So
what are you reading again? I'm sorry.
I guess it's a question that came up in the PDF,
Oh,
basically saying that a few nodes you could. I think that I wish I would explain it a bit more, but like BNB are able to turn off nodes. Is this possible with Vol 2? Can this be removed? If so, that's the question. And the answer is Binance Smart Chain has 21 validators. Vulcan will have 500 validators. It is 23 times more decentralized than Binance Smart Chain. Therefore, it will be impervious to a few nodes being offline. So does this mean that the Vulcan blockchain can turn off nodes?
no, they're saying that because it has so many, that the way I'm hearing that, because they have so many nodes,
If they're offline, it won't be that.
yeah, if you have like 10 nodes that go offline on Binance, I mean that's a hit on that network. Okay, if you think about the volume that you're getting, so 10 nodes go down, 10 servers, 20 servers go down on the Vulcan. Well, you still got 400 something nodes running, so it gives it more scale. It gives it more sustainability, I guess, more reliability. Now that's if all the nodes are functioning as possible, right? And those that are actually running the nodes are following the appropriate steps to keep these things running efficiently, right? And then and again, are the light nodes, are they validating the nodes? I mean, there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to the reputation of a node. If you're I know that it's that's all what I'm hearing is that, well, because we've got so many, it's a bigger network. It's less impervious, not as impervious to, half the nodes going down. And I mean, to take down 500 nodes, right? I mean, that'd be a huge, I'm not saying it can't happen. Yeah, that's a major attack, but Unless all the nodes are sitting on one ISP or something, or not ISP, but one provider. If all the nodes are on AWS sitting on the East Coast, and East Coast gets hit with a whatever, yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
Well, I hope that Dave Fi.
Or is it?
All right, I know we were talking about some important stuff, but this stuff's important to me, man. That's why I bring it up.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, but he's right. He goes, yeah, but they skirted the question about whether they have control to randomly kill nodes. Yeah, that needs to be, needs to be addressed. Like, so, but can you kill nodes or not? You blacklist them or whatever, right?
Yeah, that was you helped me understand a little bit more, but I would like a little bit more clarification on it.
Yeah,
but,
no, yeah. What I said was just words. But the true question is, can they blacklist, right? Or can they Trump nodes?
It's different, Dave.
Straight up, dude. It's straight up. It's gross, man.
Hey, I like baked beans though, man. So I don't think I'd be swimming in it, but we got some crazy people here. So I got another one here. Here you go. You might like this. This is this came to us too. Some of these guys, they gotta let me know if they want me to have their names out there and everything like that. But I want to make sure that they get up here because they are pretty funny. Here you go. There you go, Kryptonian. That's all you, buddy. You can read that. That's your thing.
This should be trying to find his pizza. Well, to answer your question, his name is Sam Panopoulos. Moved to Canada. Oh God. So okay, let me get this straight. He's a Greek immigrant who moved to Canada. He created the first Hawaiian pizza at a restaurant located in Canada. That makes no sense, man.
Man, it makes complete sense.
At what point in time did he go to Hawaii and figure out how to make this Joker? Is what I'm saying.
So yeah, was he? Did he like? He went to Hawaii, or is he just like, this is what I think people in Hawaii would eat?
Yeah. So he's one of those guys. Like,
I don't know, but evidently he's the one that created it. So
I mean, Hawaii, you're thinking of pineapples. Yeah,
that was from Wolfheart.
I mean, it's a cool story, bro. No, I don't know.
Wolfheart Games.
It's probably a true story.
Yeah. I think that's crazy. So we got some news coming out of. I'm kind of interested in reading that information. News coming out of there. Vulcan seems to be doing moving. I mean, this AMA that Nick is going to have. I mean, we're talking it's less than 24 hours, right?
Yeah,
So,
less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. Nick's going to have an AMA. Hopefully, a lot of questions. I did notice one of the things that the Brewfied, they were posting quite a bit there. And then I got sidetracked on the baked beans thing. But they were posting that some questions and stuff. And one of them was that will the tokenomics be amended? And they say certainly tokenomics will undergo amendments. Detailed information regarding these changes will be conveyed during Nick's presentation, which is scheduled for Thursday, the 27th of July. So looks like tokenomics will have, they just keep going. These guys are on it. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So I have to read some of that stuff, but it seems like there's some crazy things in there and all that. So, some answers. I mean, like I said, they're not gonna. Did you read that? What I put in the private chat?
Oh, like just now. Let me see.
No, before when I put it up there before, you replied to it. You see what that is? You see what happened while we were sitting here?
Yeah. That's not cool, man.
How is that not cool, man?
Because that came from someone's pocket.
No, it didn't.
Came from my pocket, man.
So I'm just being paid to be on here with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you literally, like literally. Well, hold on. People are going to misconstrue that, thinking that you're a paid YouTuber, which you're
Well,
not.
you paid me to be
I
here. I
paid you to be
mean,
here.
it,
Yeah,
that's how our friendship goes, right? Depends
yeah,
on how nice I am to you, how much you pay me.
that's right. Yeah, I pay you with kindness. I'm not that mean to you.
Oh, you hit me with the old jokes. Those are good though. Those are good.
Hold on, let's go pull up this comment here. He says, Wolfram says, so according to the document, most protocols have an in-house term of engineers and develops personnel and DevOps personnel at an annual cost of one. Yeah, they're all getting salaries, right? Um, so the challenge with that is how many. I understand payroll. I mean, um, I
Shit.
think I think one of the one of my clients, they have 8 engineers. They have about 500 employees. Their monthly payroll is about $3 million a month. A month. Okay. But this is to run a full, I mean, their sales and I mean, there's tons of employees. Unless they've got it's just 10 engineers. I mean, what, 20? I mean, I'm not hear what they're saying, but it's not that much, honestly. It just depends on how many they have. Now, if they, but this is separate from Decentology, though, right? Because they're talking about in-house.
Yeah.
So whatever they contracted Decentology, I just don't think Decentology was just giving one thing to do. I think there's a conglomerate. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just assuming there has to be some sort of consulting agreement. So there's a lot involved in that. It isn't just keys on fingers on keys. It's a lot more. Maybe there's a lot of road mapping and drawing board visits. I guess I don't know. I don't know if they'll explain those things to us, but I'd like some clarity on that. I mean, just want to know where the money went. That's all.
Oh, you know what? I think Wolfgram, he brought up that you would be interested in page 7 and 8, and I'm on 8 right now, and you have a pretty big breakdown on says how much was Nick paid for Decennology and the hackathon, and there is a huge answer that I have not gotten through, but
Okay. Well, if they broke it down, that's good. That's good.
well, I don't know if it's broken down. It seems like a lot of numbers in there, all that kind of stuff, and then the scope of the blockchain project included the following. Looks like straight out of, I don't know, Nick probably wrote that part. I don't know, but that is something that I'm sure you'll read.
Yeah,
the whole thing,
I need to know what the scope of work is. I need to
Mhm.
I need to see the scope of work. I need to see. I mean, I don't know if they put it in. Well, it looks like there's a scope of work, because typically there's a scope of work, and then here's a scope of work, and then they come back with a the scope of work comes from the contractor, Nick. Here's what you want me to do. This is what we're going to do. This is how long it's going to take, and this is how much it's going to cost. And these are the deliverables. Month 1 we give you this. Month 2 we give you this. Or I'm just using those as examples. So my assumption would be they were paid over, over months. I doubt they would just cut a check for $900,000. I mean, I doubt that happened. All right, so I see it now. It's the finances, right? There it is.
Mhm.
Okay, let me see. Yes, a lot of stuff here. So the SDK development. So it was a total of $721K for SDK. Okay, so they paid them in Seifu. There was a drop. Wow. DApps cost 1.1. Yeah. Sorry guys, we're going radio silent here. We're just kind of reading some stuff. I'm gonna review this. I'm gonna look at this stuff. I mean, this I cannot go, oh yeah, this is what it costs, because I mean they're just breakdowns in price, but I don't know what the hours spent. I don't know any of that stuff. That's something that Nick, they don't have to share that with us, obviously, but I'm not expecting them to. but billable hours. But I mean, it looks like they're breaking down all the things, like all the deliverables. The customized bridge, custom decks, node onboarding DApp, sacrifice one. So there's like things they were doing along the way, since Seifu, obviously. So, or they're paid in Seifu at first, and there's still stuff ongoing. Okay, so for comparison, this is where they got that comment where he says, for comparison, most. So this was a comparison statement they put up there. It says most protocols have an in-house. So when you put up that statement a while ago, and I thought they were saying they did, that they did have an in-house development team or DevOps personnel that cost about $1.5 million a year. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it just depends. It just depends on what they're doing specifically. What tier levels are these devs? You know what I mean? And it just depends. But and are they from the East Coast or West Coast? I'll tell you that right now, because there's a difference in price. All right, but they're saying, sorry, that's what it typically costs. So what it sounds like, look, typically companies they're paying $2 million annually for engineers and DevOps personnel, and then we were able to get this done for $721,000. So we saved money, is what it looks like to me, in a sense. So we got kind of a discount. Otherwise, we still have these guys on payroll, and this would be an annual $1.5 million a year if these guys were still continually still hired. Now, if that's the case, but it still says that there's still $250,000 worth of I guess services rendered that we haven't paid for, that we still owe Nick. I wonder if now that he's taking on the lead, right? I wonder if that 250, if there's some sort of an agreement, or some sort of what's the word? I'm gonna say pro bono, but time served, if you will. Like, hey, look, I tell you what, you take us to the cross the finish line, and we know we know we owe you 250, but we're gonna give you something else. I don't know,
Right.
but
Well, hopefully those are things that Nick will address. I mean, some of those statements, the sneaking suspicion I have is some of the answers that they have on there. I certainly hope that they came from lawyers.
yeah.
So, and I hope that they haven't opened the door for other issues. My first glance on it and stuff like that, it's not fair for me because I didn't read a whole lot. I read some of it, but my thing is that hopefully it answers some questions for people out there, and it's a starting point for Nick's AMA tomorrow. And then when he has his AMA, hopefully those are because I did see a lot of answers that were in there that it would be it'll be answered or brought up in the AMA that Nick's presentation. So I'm kind of really interested in this presentation because I think there's a lot of questions he's got to answer. Plus, he's got to give some type of direction as to what things are going. And then didn't he say that the plan was that he present this, and if the community is for it, that they would vote? The community would vote. Hopefully, it would be legitimate wallet holders or whatever vote, and if they voted to not do it, he would be done. And if they voted for it, that we'd move forward with it. So I think I thought that was the gist of it, right? I mean, that's what
I thought that's what's happening. Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to see. With I want to read more of the questions and everything like that. But
Yeah, I'm gonna read this more thoroughly. My hope is after reading this, there aren't more questions than when we started. You know what I mean? Because typically that happens. Like, wait, your answers have only facilitated for more questioning. We don't want that.
Yes, and I agree with the parts that I've read. I actually don't think that they. I think somebody had a comment earlier that they skirted through the question and everything like that. So, I don't think that they answered a whole lot there, and I'm not sure if I don't know if that was a good timing. Maybe they should have waited till after his AMA. you know?
Well, he did say in the announcement that look, there are some questions we're not addressing because of there are some legal ramifications. You know, yeah, I wasn't expecting this thing to be like, here it is, or this be the script that Nick, you know, speaks from tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
These are the talking points for tomorrow. I don't think that's what this is. These are questions that are asked that community asked. They answer to the best of their ability. And I'm sure there'll be more questions for more elaboration. Maybe they'll answer them, maybe they won't, depending on legal, whatever. But I think for tomorrow, I don't think these are the talking points for Nick. I think Nick has his own set of his own agenda, and that's where we're going to get to this is what the plan is to get us from what, remember, it's where we're at, the State of the Union, and how we get us to the cross the finish line. That's what I want to hear, because the damage has been done. At the end of the day, it's not like they're saying, look, there was X amount of dollars, now there's none, right? We need more money. No, that's not what I'm getting from Nick. Like, well, we can't move forward because we have no more money. I think what I'm getting from Nick is, at least over the last few posts and how he's been posting things and addressing some things, is we have a plan. I'm gonna present it and we'll see what happens. You know, he didn't say, guys, we have a plan, but we got no way to make it happen because we ain't got no money. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction. You know, and I think it will be. I think it will be, because truthfully, guys, you know, for those of you that are still listening to us right now, they could be shutting the doors and saying, sorry, hanging it up, it's over. I don't want that. You know, I want them to give it one more good try, you know, the right way, the right approach, do it right, you know, and let's do it right this time and then make it do it once. So that's the silver lining I see. Let's give them the opportunity. Let's see what happens tomorrow. You know, let's see what happens tomorrow. Not just tomorrow, but, you know, the days to come after that.
Yeah. So I think there's some information in there. We'll have to go over and check it out and everything like that. We've been going for like almost 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about everything. I didn't really expect to end it on an announcement. So I'm glad we got the PDF, right? I mean, at least we could kind of, we got something to read and to definitely to chew on, and give us something to look forward to for tomorrow with Nick's AMA. So guys, if you have any questions about any of the things that we've talked about, I know we talked about aliens or whatever, but tonight was just a chill night. We talked about whatever, and wherever kind of the conversation led us. If not, we're going to wrap it up, and we're going at this for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And without NR, it's kind of awkward now. I feel like I'm on a date with Chris. You know what I mean? When there's three of us, it's different.
Telling you,
know what I
man.
mean?
I'm telling you. I mean, if it was your wife sitting there, I'd be like,
Oh,
all
yeah,
right, well,
yeah,
talk,
well,
you know.
I'm
Man,
trying to get her on here, man. I'm trying to get her on here, man. She's
it's
just
killing me with
yeah.
it.
She's like, because those cryptos guys are mean. I said, nah, they're not mean. They're honest.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Yeah.
So yeah, Wolfheart, he's got a question. What is a blockchain? So please don't answer him, dude. We are going to be here all night.
Yeah, I don't know that. So,
I think he knows that. Yeah.
guys, that's my new transition. I love the Transformers. I know I love Star Wars, but Transformers is my jam. You guys can't see them back there. You can't see them back there, but I've got Optimus Prime right there. Have you ever seen my Optimus Prime?
No, I don't see anything. I see a helmet for your bike.
Oh,
That's
hold
it.
it. Hold on. One second.
I don't know what you're trying to show, but Marshall says thanks so much to Kryptonian CKL. Looking forward to tomorrow night. Yeah, I could see that. It's going to be very interesting, and it'll be fun to watch that. But you know, with these questions and answers that they put out, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to look at it or whatever. But I'm thinking that's probably wasn't a good move to do right before his AMA. Stirring up a lot of things. I mean, they run the risk of, if those questions aren't something that people wanted to hear, or now we're playing with toys. I see.
Oh, this ain't no toy, bro. This is a Robertson flagship Optimus Prime. The batteries are dead. Otherwise, I'd transform his ass. But this Joker, this is Optimus Prime. Nostalgia.
Listen, I don't want you might
Telling
be
you,
getting
man.
old or whatever.
Nah, man,
but
no.
That's
I'm telling you,
that's
you
a
got-
semi truck, dude. That's
It's
not
semi. It's transforms into Optimus Prime. Well, I'll charge him for the next time.
There you go.
But dude, this is the first toy that I've ever been able to buy myself as an adult. Yeah,
We have all kinds of
thought my motorcycle was a toy, but that's a toy. Nah, but he transforms, man. It's amazing. It's got the voice actor that actually played Optimus Prime. Back in the
Yeah.
It's got like over 180 audio bits from him. It's crazy. Completely transforms. Yeah.
but I think you like Transformers because they are on the moon. They're there, man. There's a movie about it. It's a documentary, man. Just watch the movie.
I love that, Mike. Every time you do that, I'm like, oh man, plot twist. That's what that's from, man. If you know the cartoon, that's plot twist. You guys know what's about to happen. Optimus is about to get beat up because he gets beat up in every cartoon, man, and then he comes back and wins. But anyways,
All right, so
I
man,
think-
I'm out of here.
I think we should do one more thing before we go. All right, let's give him a treat.
Preview.